We're back. Internet dropped. But you know, that's how it'll be. Thankfully, it was only out for like 20 minutes. But what's good is that, in the actual Twitch VOD, I didn't lag. Because usually when I lag, or when I drop frames like anyway, so usually that's just the normal capture card crashing. Usually, whenever my internet drops, like, the footage is gone, but it actually saved the footage this time, so that's huge. Where's my camera, though? It's another day. Who wants to give me 1,000,000 subs so I can, like, buy anything I want? Any takers? Okay, we're back in. So thankfully, we didn't lose any of the footage. Okay. If you ignore the fact that we've been excluded from the phenomenon known as death, then it certainly seems natural to call us ghosts. After all, we can't survive in sunlight. Intuitively, it makes sense to think of us as ghosts. Or at least ghostly. Her volume exceeds my capacity as a container, so I just need to prepare a new container. Perhaps she can be contained if there are more ghosts to perceive her. But when you mix in the fact that there's a limit to what we can possess, that intuitively starts to falter. So once again, my request is that you ladies watch as I assemble her. I'd prefer you slept in shifts. That's all you need to do. You wouldn't have storage to do computations, right? For how long? It probably won't be done in a single day. You'll need to take a few days off from your jobs, that's for sure. Even if we're not ghosts, we're some sort of ghostly creatures. I'm sure the others aren't scared, though. I mean, why be so scared of ourselves? We're not here to prosper. We're not here to expand. We're just here to exist. This won't have any negative effects on our bodies, will it? I'm a little scared. That's why I asked an odd question. I wanted to distract myself with some talking. There may be some negative effects, I will admit. If you're scared, just sleep through the whole thing. Alexei, sorry. Alexei might not know this, but I've had sort of experience. Alexei might not know this, but I've had this sort of experience before. I do feel that it's somewhat difficult to acknowledge new things, but there's no point telling him right now. That's not what Sioka's saying. She's not scared of working with you. She's scared of you. She's looking for a reason to decline. I'm just telling you the truth as close as I see it. Even when you're telling the truth, the tone, attitude, and syntax you use to tell it makes all the difference, you know. You must have failed your public speaking classes. Just hearing the phrase public speaking class feels like a punch to the gut. I'll do it. I don't know if I can do it well, but there's no harm in trying. Oh, you will? I'm into. You definitely got off the deep end this time, Alec. But as a lowly engineer, I'm intrigued. See, now my presentation was flawless. These girls are just softies. I wouldn't pat myself on the back for that presentation if I were you. Anyway, since Anya trusts you, I intend to trust you too. But I don't trust you enough to take time off of work. Pacifica's talking to Alexei, but it sounds like she's actually directing those words to us. Someone needs to watch for danger outside while these girls are preoccupied. You also don't know if the church will try to pull something either. It seems like Pacifica is acting nonchalant to melt away my looming anxiety of being separated from her. Or maybe she isn't, and the world doesn't revolve around me. That'd be embarrassing. Thank you. Don't worry about it. We're just dividing the roles. Well, Yoru, looks like it's the three of us. I'm not in. Okay, for now, we'll have to put on notices that you'll be on break from... Wait, what did you say? I feel a shock like being struck in the head. You'd think Yoda would be the first person to be excited by the sight of this stupid thing. At first, I think Yoda's messing with me, but when I look into her eyes, I see she's serious. I said I'm not in! Why not? Because I don't want to do this. I'm utterly confused by Yoda's calm rejection. She's usually overly expressive, so when I see her say that without a single change to her facial expression, it instantly throws my mental stability off balance. What's wrong, Yoda? Does your stomach hurt? My bowel movements are perfectly regular. I see, good for you. Would you prefer us not to ask why? Well, yeah, I guess. When I notice Yoda frown, it makes me feel a little bit of relief. And that's because it lets me know that she's not making this decision lightly, and she does feel at least a little guilty. I know it's not healthy to be happy about Yoda feeling guilty, but I need to accept the fact that I'm the mean sort of person who would feel good about something like that. I think it'd be dangerous to set up shop by yourself. True. If you're not going to be around, then I'll take a break off of work. If you're going to take a break, then why not stay here with me? No, I don't want to. Sorry. Yoda makes that face she makes every now and then. No, it's okay. It's your decision, Yoda. I'm not good with these sorts of situations. I really should press her some more. So what'll it be? Sioka and Anya will stand watch. Yoda and I will pass. According to my calculations, 2 should be plenty. It's a deal. And thus, Anya and I end up helping the strange man... named Alexei with his challenge. Sioko? Good luck. Thanks. There's a lump of anxiety lodged in my chest. I never pretended to know everything about her. But this still comes as a bit of an unpleasant surprise. Alexei truly is skilled at engineering, which is why I think he can help us further our goals once this is done. I'm also interested in Alexei's insight about ghosts. There's so much I'd like to ask him when we've got the time. At least that's what I keep telling myself as I try to find a way to justify my decision to take on this job. But the fact that I have to look for justifications and proof in itself that I'm unsure about this after all. I met up with Anya in the same old plaza, with the same old sights, minus our psychiatry stand. After all, closing up shop well for the duration of my time at Alexei's. Yo, wait, Sioka, where's your luggage? Anya asks as she carries a big bag. In my coat pockets, I've got a handkerchief and a gun. The bullets disappeared, so I'll have to make up for it by aiming real good. Oh, good luck with that. Wait, shouldn't you at least bring a change of clothes and a towel? I've been thinking. Huh? Is it really necessary to shower and change clothes? You're starting to sound like Yoru. You think so? Good thing Pacific is not around. She'd be all like, Bargle Gargle. Bargle Gargle? Yeah, Bargle Gargle. We talk as we walk. It feels weird since I usually be working around this time. It feels like going to a hospital instead of school when you're sick. It's especially weird since I only started working just recently. I guess I've adapted to worker life before I knew it. It was probably a gradual day-by-day process. I recall my conversations with Alexei. I can feel my face heat up as I do so. Why do I act so proactively? I couldn't bear watching him. I wanted to do something to help. But was that just because I thought I was in a position to help? Help? Me of all people. With my social standing? I think those thoughts to myself as we approached the amusement park. We were here late this time, but it's operating hours right now, so there's cheerful music playing with decorative lights shining in the night sky. It's kind of extravagant by this town's standards. Anya, have you ever been to the amusement park? I ask. I have never been there myself. At least, I don't think I have. Well, I've been there a number of times, but I didn't have much fun, though. Why not? The amusement park by itself is fine, but the problem is the customers. Do they have bad manners? Well, it just feels like we're at the amusement park more to look like they're enjoying themselves rather than actually enjoying themselves. Oh. That's how it feels? Sends shivers down my spine. Shivers? Shivers my timbers. I see. I think I get you. It must be annoying to be surrounded by people like that, huh? It just feels like people like them look down on the people like me. I don't want to be in the same place as them, you know? Anya speaks bitterly. I never really thought about it, but I guess that sort of vague social hierarchy exists in this town, too. Maybe as a foreigner, I'm just excluded from that pyramid entirely. Sorry if I asked something I shouldn't have. No, it's fine. Anyway, those people don't make sense when they talk. They're so damn boring. But I'm sure they find me so damn boring, too. Anya gets her head back in the game and readjusts her bag that had started to slip off her shoulder. I'm not good with that whole female bonding thing. Like going to bathrooms in groups and gossiping and stuff. Girls who can't get into that sort of stuff and end up with no choice but to join groups of guys, don't they? I respond with a vague, It's been a long time, I think, since the last time we talked about interhuman, or rather, interghost relations. It makes my heart start to clench. But I suppose we can only really talk about this sort of thing when it's just the two of us. Anya and I keep talking about somewhat complicated topics as we walk down the path. I'm so glad we can walk together like this. But when you join a group of guys, then you have to deal with romance and all that poop, so it'd be even poopier. I'm so glad I got you girls. Anya says that with a smile. It's somewhat an awkward forced smile, but it's kind of cute in its own way, and an almost devilish smile. I can see why a group of guys wouldn't be able to leave her alone. I consider smiling back at her, but I'm so awestruck, I decide not to. We pass the amusement park area and approach Alexi's house. It definitely feels like it's way too fancy a house for Alexei to live in, though I suppose the fact that he lives in it all by his lonesome does fit him. If Yoda were here, she might call this a sleepover. Oh yeah, Yoru. The more I think about her absence, the more depressed I get. I guess I just shouldn't think about it then. A sleepover, huh? I doubt it's going to be something that fun. So, do we just sit and watch? If I remember right, yeah. The guy doesn't lie, so I'm sure that's really all we need to do. It makes me feel kind of guilty that that's really all we're going to do. I fidget as we stand at Alexi's front porch. At least we'll balance our free time, you know. Anya rings the bell. Something starts rumbling inside the house, then Alexei shrieks. I smile wryly. I'm sure he'll ask us to do something else sooner or later. I guess there's no point worrying about it. Cute. So, basically, at this point, it's our third day at Alexi's house, and I haven't been asked to do anything else even once. I've just been watching. I watch as Alexei and Anya work on the project. I watch over the assembled parts with Anya while Alexei's away at work. And when Alexei gets back, I watch the machines and sleep. I really have just been sitting and watching. I don't have to worry about anything since I don't have to do anything. This will probably be hell for the type of people who need to be moving constantly, but luckily, I'm an expert at doing nothing, so it's not that agonizing for me. But for some reason, I feel like I've gained weight. Can ghosts even gain weight? I don't know. I kind of miss Yodo and Pacifica. It's a little frustrating when your work and your pay don't seem to match. It's rough when you have to work hard to earn comparatively little, like Yodo did way back when. But conversely, I'm finding it rough to basically do zero work to earn a lot. I figure I could clean the room. Not that I ever clean my own room. But a big barrel-shaped cleaning robot goes around automatically a few times a day. Apparently this robot is to thank for the house's almost eerie cleanliness. It's not like Alexi's secretly a neat freak who obsessively cleans his house. For some reason. That's a relief. This cleaning robot is pretty well built. Using some mysterious technology, it hovers a little bit off the ground as it sucks up dust with a whirring motor sound. For bigger messes like when Anya spilled her sugary coffee on the kitchen floor, some even got on her clothes so she had to change out, the robot extends a mysterious arm to mop everything up. I think that was just before bedtime the day before yesterday. As I watch the machine smoothly pick up the trash, I murmur, I want one for our place. Anya comes out of the shower drying her hair with a towel. It seems like she heard me, so she starts talking about the origins of that machine. Alexi and I made this thing together. Due to an annoying customer request, it had to be made from the ground up, so Alexi asked for my help. Though it was mostly Alexi's work and I just helped. Contrary to her self-derisive words, Anya sounds pretty proud of herself as she talks about the cleaning robot's features. That incredibly powerful armored vehicle we tried to leave town in. Apparently this cleaning robot uses the same power source. So unlike a battery-operated machine, there's no need to charge it, and it's more powerful too. So, could this thing explode? Maybe if I made it. But while Alexi's amazing at hardware, he's actually a software guy. The software meshes perfectly with the hardware specifications. The software meshes perfectly with the hardware's specifications and has complete control over the generator's state. Dude, I messed that sentence up so bad. Software refers to programming, and hardware refers to the mechanics, right? Oh, yeah, I'm kinda gross, aren't I? I just blab on and on about technical jargon, like an otaku. You're normal, Anya. No, even better than normal. Anya smiles gently at my words. I almost feel like it's not even Anya I'm looking at. If only. Thanks. Is it because of her flat, wet hair? Her dressing gown? Wait, what was I even saying? Recalling memories is a good way to kill time. You could try to see how many details you remember. And any ambiguous parts can be supplemented by extrapolating? Extrapolating, oh. Any ambiguous parts can be supplemented by extrapolating what you remember from adjacent memories. Oh right, I'm pretty sure... Hell yeah! Yahoo! My memory recollection is suddenly drowned out by some strange voices. What happened? Oh, take a look! Look at it! Before I know it, the pile of parts on the desk has become what appears to be an anatomical model of a skeleton. This is probably her skeleton, I guess. The right arm is the only portion that has parts with some flesh on it. Probably not actual flesh. The exposed metal bones of the fingers slowly clench into a fist and open again. It repeats the cycle a few times. It's moving, huh? Oh, what a beautiful rock and paper. That sure is, something. It's not just that. It's moving. It's that it hasn't ever been to complete before. The skeleton usually falls apart before I can assemble it, and the nerve connections get severed before I notice it. My hypothesis was correct. Thank you. Thank you so much. What about the internal software? That's going by favorably, too. There's no missing data so far. I don't know what'll happen once I increase the volume of the data. But that shouldn't be too much a problem now that we've established a solution to the problem that's been plaguing me this whole time. That was the most crucial aspect of the whole project. I'm happy I could be useful. You aren't just useful. You were a lifesaver. Ha! Alexei starts rolling on the floor laughing. I almost tell him not to do that since the floor is dirty, but I stop myself. The floor in this place is freakishly clean after all. Mr. Alexei? What? You want to give it a try too? No, not that. I was wondering about this thing. She's not a thing. Sorry, why are you trying to make her? Because I can't. No, wait. Let me put my thoughts in order. Oh, no. You don't have to think so seriously about it. I'm thinking, don't talk to me. Oh, come on. Why do I have to feel this wretched? I look to Anya for help. Anya sticks her thumb up and makes a cutting gesture across her throat with it. I smile wryly. Thank goodness, looks like I got the right idea, and thus... So why are you trying to make her? Because I'm curious to know if God will allow me my desire. God? You're talking like a member of the church. He's a believer. Huh? He is? He's got some differing opinions compared to the priest, though. So I guess he's more of a heretic. Your kids say that. Every scientist is like some sort of clergyman who wants to get closer to God's wisdom. That's what I think, at least. I thought it was common sense that people like Alexei would be realists who don't believe in God. So I'm a little confused. But now that I think about it, when we first asked for Alexei's help, he did easily agree despite saying it would take some time. He was probably thinking proactively of how it would benefit others. It's a little late now, but I can't say I don't sense there'd be an ulterior motive to his seemingly good intentions. Since God made us in His image, I'm curious if He'll allow us to make something in our image. Honestly, I had my doubts, but... That's changed now that we're here? I thought I had reached a dead end, but I was wrong. This was a trial to see if I could climb the barrier. Alexei stands in front of his computer and presses a button. She stops clenching and opening her fist. What I'm trying to implement is a perfect artificial intelligence that copies the mechanisms of the brain. A self-conscious reproduction of us that won't control the population or hijack missile interception systems, and is neither dumber nor smarter than us. If every part of the copy works properly, this being will have true consciousness. And while I don't even want to think about it, if she suddenly gets struck by a car, she'll be torn apart, and that consciousness of hers will be lost for all of eternity. Oh. Does this idea remind you of anything? Hit and run? That's not what I meant. Then what do you mean? Death. A chill breeze blows underfoot. No, wait. We're indoors. So it's probably just my imagination. As soon as I process that word, my spine shudders, and I start finding it hard to stand. An eternal wakeless sleep, ignoring the final destination of the soul. The body decays, and those left behind can do nothing but remember the departed. Now what does that sound like? You mean... Yes, just like a human being. Our blueprint, our origin. The ones that lived, died, and became memories. Those who YOLO'd. Can we who have been removed from death create death? Alexei's voice trembles. Just how much does this guy believe in God? And just how aware is he that what we're doing is highly blasphemous? If my creation has self-awareness, does being aware of itself count as being perceived, and thus can exist indefinitely without a third-person observer? Yeah, I was a little curious if we had to keep watching even after she was complete. True. A consciousness that only exists if it's constantly observed sounds like a hassle. I'd feel sorry for the owner of the consciousness. If she has a consciousness, she can possess her own objects. So if I can successfully mass produce her, they can be used as a town storage system for resources, knowledge, culture, and everything else you can give them, enabling major expansion of the town. Whoa. Assuming God will permit it, that is. We are thinking about things because, of course, there's doubt that God will permit it. Are you aware of the theory that God has banished us into the night as punishment for our sins? For our sins? What sins? That's just what the church says, Syoko. Lots of people have differing opinions. Some of them are kind of interesting, too. One time a customer came in wanting a chainsaw repaired, and as the boss worried, the customer said that this town is a prison. A prison? Yeah, the prisoners here are all nefarious scoundrels who can't be placed in ordinary cells. So they're hypnotized into thinking that they're ghosts living in the snowy town who can't be awake in the day. Wait. Are they actually going down the route that none of this is real? Please! Please! The reason they never die is because their sense of time has been tampered with. No time has actually ever passed. You and I are actually old men who've committed heinous crimes, apparently. That's kind of a scary thought. I try to imagine myself as a giant man in a prison uniform who thinks he's me. There's a prisoner who thinks he's Anya, and a prisoner who thinks he's Alexei. And what he's actually making is just a mud ball. Wow, way to rip off the Church's sin theory, lol. He said that there were several prison guards hiding among us for surveillance, and he was going to murder them. With a chainsaw, I guess. What? That's some customer you got. Well, we did call the police on him, so that's that. Police? What's that, ninjas? Anya laughs as if Alexei had said something funny. Alexei's shoulders shake up and down, too. I guess everyone in town agrees that the police don't really do much. Anya says, well, I guess they work just as much as I do, and then continues. According to an acquaintance of mine, this is a theme park. A theme park? Like an amusement park. Yeah. According to that acquaintance, there was a war, and the country that lost had their population almost entirely wiped out by a missile, leaving no trace of their culture or language. Oh. So, it's another scary theory then, huh? A missile, huh? I see. The country that won came to regret their actions later, and created something of a memorial park at the missile impact site, and created animatronics, robots, that imitate the personalities and language of the dead. Leaving the devices to their own devices as a reminder for generations to come of the people they wiped out with their own hands. And where are those robots? That's right. We were sent out to recognize when a visitor arrives, and we're forced to sleep for after-hours maintenance. What we think of as mourning isn't actually mourning. And so the weird list of names written on the missile is meant as a memorial of the victims who died. The prisoners in my imagination turn into robots. I imagine Alexei with exposed, somewhat rusty metallic joints. As we talk, there are kids on a social studies field trip watching us, and 2 war pamphlets in hand. There must be some sort of real-time animatronic. There must be some sort of real-time automatic translator translating our words, and the kids just go, huh, as they listen, not quite understanding what we're talking about. We keep talking under the mistaken impression of having been granted our own consciousness. That's the kind of thought that keeps you up at night. Like maybe people can hear my thoughts. That kind of thought. A paranoid fear that you can't prove either right. Or wrong. Whoever thought that must be amazing. Actually, I'm the one who thought of it. Amazing. You might think I sound like that chainsaw man I mentioned, but it's a pretty solid theory, don't you think? I even tried to address why we have to sleep in the morning, and why certain things go back to their original state. I'd say you're more talented than you give yourself credit for, Anya. Anya slaps me on the shoulders. I was just bored before, that's all. Thinking about things to talk about is a pretty fantastic pastime, you know? I mean, why not? I'm free to come up with my own theories, aren't I? Yeah, I guess so. So, lots of people like a good conspiracy theory. And I'm sure a lot of them find Myoto awfully suspicious, too. The church locked away before, didn't they? I hypothesized that they were afraid of mass hysteria instigated by such a conspiracy theory. Is Yoru that important? True. Yoru was being held captive under what seemed to be the pretext of protective custody. In fact, she was provided with a warm room and a huge ham. She was treated so well. She didn't even seem aware of the fact that she was being held captive. And then there's the priest's tone of voice. He was afraid of Yoru, but it seemed like there was more to it than that. That's right. I talked to the priest, didn't I? I must have been real nervous, since the more time passes, the more the details seem to sink to the back of my mind. I can only just barely make out a rough outline. Was I alone at that moment? I don't know. I feel like someone else was there. Where did she come from, and why did she come here? There are certain things about her that definitely separate her from us, aren't there? Are you talking about Yoru? Yeah? Does that bother you? Not really. Yodo's never brought up her origins, and I've never asked about them. Why not, I wonder? Oh, I think I get it. Well, I guess I never really asked... well, I guess I never really wanted to ask Yodo since she's the same as me. The same? Yodo and I are both foreigners who came from the outside. I vaguely recognize that this town isn't where we originally meant to be, but I never really thought about it beyond that. If somebody asked me where I'm really from, that'd probably throw me for a loop. So we don't want to make Yodo feel the same way by asking her that same question. Yeah, I don't remember my past, and it sucks to be asked about something you don't remember, you know? Okay, so what's different between me and Yodo? I'm an outsider in this town, and it doesn't look like I just suddenly appeared here like Yodo did. The church didn't lock me up either. For as long as I can remember, I've been waking up and sleeping in that room. I don't remember having to look for housing like Yodo did. We're the same, but different. I see, that definitely sounds like you, Siyoko. You think so? If it were me, I'd be so curious, I'd start hurling a barrage of questions at her. And then you'd use that as material for your next epic tale, huh? Hey, cut that out! You know, I've never really thought about it. But maybe it's okay for roommates to know at least that much about each other. I don't really know that much about Yoru. I'm sure the world is full of things that people just won't talk about unless asked properly about them. Maybe Yoru is just waiting for me to ask her questions. Maybe not asking her anything makes me untrustworthy in her eyes. And to be an even more useless roommate, here I am, spending night after night at some strange man's home. No, it's not like that at all. I'm sure Yodo's interested in talking. Wait, the chapter's almost over. I spoiled myself by accident. Oops. As soon as I decide to ask her, as soon as I get back, I start to look forward to seeing her again, and thus I grow impatient, and the wait becomes excruciating. As I worry about Yoru, development proceeds smoothly. Oh, okay, pause. The progress bar is for, like, the middle point of the chapter. Okay, that makes sense. W. I thought the game would end there. Imagine. The flesh and soul develop concurrently. and thus constantly act on each other. With that declaration, Alexei spends half his time tinkering with the parts, and the other half typing on his keyboard. The motion tests advance from the right hand to the left hand, and then from the upper body to the lower body, down to the toes. It almost looks like it happens in fast forward. It really makes me feel awestruck at how far science has progressed, like Wrench's spider, except without the imminent danger. A single man is single-handedly carrying out a project to recreate a human in the comfort of his home. Has culture really progressed that far? Can a human be recreated as easily as a somewhat intricate hobbyist diorama? Occasionally. Actually, on second thought, Alexei is just an outlier. But if he's this skilled at engineering, why does he work at a movie theater projectionist? Maybe it's just because all ghosts seem to be somewhat reserved when it comes to work. Alexei decided that today will be her first outing, but out in this case just means out in front of the house. Now that the full body unit test is complete, he wants to install a temporary personality file and check for any movement issues. I push her on a cart. Her black skeletal frame is exposed, her head crudely replaced with a speaker. She looks like a mock human and more like She looks less like a mock human and more like an uncanny art piece. Alexei moves the test up ahead of schedule to today, since the snow just happened to stop, thereby minimizing the risk of damage to the parts. Okay, let her down over there. I let her down from the cart as instructed after Anya and the cleaning robot sweep away the snow at the designated location. As previously instructed, I insert the cable into the port on the back of her neck and hand the other end over to Alexei. I advise you to step back a bit. There's no guarantee that there won't be any malfunctions. She's got some ridiculous horsepower, and you never know if an arm will come flying off. Alexei plugs the cable into a laptop and starts tapping away on the keyboard. Okay, good girl. Easy does it. Here we go. Beep boop. A sound reminiscent of a very primitive computer rings out, presumably from her temporary speaker head. A few seconds later. Welcome to, park. Strangely enough, it's a friendly old man's voice that rings out. Oh, okay. The what park? I didn't catch the name since it was covered with noise. Please enjoy your day. If you need any help, just call on me, Mr. We got fun games to play. The corporation has a limited sale on. What is this? It's probably a robot routine for an amusement park or a shopping mall. I bought it from the salvagers. It should be perfect for a motion test. Huh. The salvagers, huh? I miss them. I wonder how they're doing. They weren't bad guys. Mr. What's-his-face, what's his speaker, slowly takes a step forward, then another in an awkward walk cycle. With each step, the attached cable gets tighter and tighter until it snaps off, but it doesn't stop walking. Oh, so that wasn't a power cable? I think it's more like a charging data cable. It should be basically wireless instead of charging. I mean, there's really not a point in a robot that can't move without a cable, is there? You got a point. The more the robot walks, the more stable its walk cycle becomes. The robot then waves his hand at each of us and starts jumping up and down. Our body comes equipped with all standard functionality, so it should be able to run software made from other machines, using the same standards out of the box. What do you think? Amazing, right? Just say amazing. Amazing. Ah. I feel like I'm starting to get used to talking with these two. Whenever Alexei says something incomprehensible, Anna gives me notes to help me respond properly. None of us are the type who hate silence, so there's no need to awkwardly look for something to talk about. This isn't bad. Sayoko! Anya! I turn around so quickly it's embarrassing. There's Yoru, running this way from that telephone pole over there. She came here to see us. She must have been lonely too. Either that or she's run into some sort of problem. Or maybe she's found a new partner and came to hand me my divorce papers. Anything but that. Long time no see, you two! A familiar girl is running alongside her. I didn't notice her because she's in Yoru's shadow. Clara, why is that thing with you? My whole body freezes over and my legs go numb. I realize my right hand's in my pocket, unconsciously gripping my gun. I catch Yoru in my arms when she runs in for a hug. Oh. Yoru? How have you been, Syoko? He hasn't been bullying you, has he? I'm fine. What's with the girl behind you? I ran into her along the way. She said she wanted to see you, Syoko. Along the way? Yeah, I just ran into her along the way. No other reason, honest. I'll even treat you to dinner if you can prove otherwise. It's not like I was accusing you of anything. Look, I didn't go to my way to see her, okay? Have you two already gone that far? Syoko and I are both going steady. What are you talking about? Don't make things confusing. My body still feels cold, but I'll probably be okay. It doesn't seem like things have changed in my absence. Whoa, how cute! Did you make this yourself? Yeah, this girl hasn't changed either. Yeah, this is indeed my creation. Wow, amazing! You must be a genius inventor! I wouldn't go so far as to call myself a genius, huh? Why do guys go gaga over girls like that? Beats me. I think all lolicon should be banned. Clara's just as Clary as ever today, demonstrating boundless energy that's so unbelievable. It's kinda gross. She keeps letting out cute noises at random. Can I play with this robot? As long as you're gentle. Nice to meet you. I'm Clara. I'm an apprentice nun at the church. My hobby is talking with people and helping out at anyone I can. Clara bows. That reminds me. She did bow to me too, huh? I've known her for longer than I thought, unfortunately. Hello, young lady. Would you like to play a game with? Let's play the game. Whoa, a game? Let's play. Alright, since you're a robot. Claire rummages through her bag and takes out some sort of can. Here you go, a drink for robots! What is that? That's a can of fuel. Or, sorry, to the wrong voice. Man, I haven't thought of that song in a long time. Always by Panic. Do we like Panic still? Dude, I feel like every celeb is problematic. Think about it. That's a can of fuel. A pretty expensive one at that. It's used for generators and motorcycles. Is that really a drink for robots? Of course not. Can't drink without a mouth. Wait, she shouldn't even walk around with that thing in her bag. That's dangerous. Yodo hums to herself. Claire's waiting for the robot to take the can of fuel and drink it like it's a can of soda or something. Go ahead and feel free to drink it to commemorate our greeting. Go ahead, feel free to drink it to commemorate our getting to know each other. Uh-oh. A robotic buzzer instantly causes the relaxed mood to tense up. Hostile behavior detected from a gray life form in possession of hazardous material. The possession of hazardous materials in this facility is a direct violation of the Anti-Terrorism Act. All defensive measures are now permitted. Yeah, like what the hell is this about? I don't know. I didn't write this personality routine. but I think I've got an idea. Please quickly state your 9-digit national identification number and repeat it. Maybe it's a shinobi? I've only ever heard rumors about them. Doesn't ring a bell. Sorry? Can you explain? There's an urban legend that's hidden among the general purpose companion robots at malls and conventions. There are a certain number of shinobi robots programmed to seek out spies and kill them. Like a sort of secret police. Killer robots? That's not good. You gotta stop it. I repeat, please state your national identification number. Okay, I can't do a constant voice for the robot. I'm sorry. I really want to do a robot voice, but I can't. They said it sounds like an old man. It's too late. Damn it. Security robots aren't consumer goods. They're military grade. You don't want a terrorist hacking something like that, so they're completely shut off from external commands. I'm only able to get the gist of what Alexi's saying, but I guess the machine has identified Clara as a terrorist and is about to attack her. Why didn't you notice it before you activated it? How was I supposed to know it was an imposter routine? Damn it. Looks like shutting it down won't be as easy as turning off a computer. You idiot! Don't shoot! You got any better ideas? This is your final warning. Please state your national identification number. I'm sorry, how do I apologize? Activating defense routines. Have a safe day. Oh! Poor Clara, dude. As soon as the robot finishes talking, she uses her metallic left hand to knock the can out of Clara's hand. Actually, let me rephrase that. She wrecks Clara's hand so hard she can't even hold the can anymore. Her wrist is bent at an unnatural angle. The robot then reaches for Clara's neck with her right hand. Go! Clara suddenly goes quiet. Probably because her neck's been crushed. The robot then dangles her in the air. Error. Weapon not found. She, or rather the shinobi, speaks as its left hand clatters. It was probably intending to finish Clara off with a standard issue weapon, usually installed on the left arm. Oh, come on! I kick its clattering left arm. Ow! Oh man, is that thing hard. I guess I should have expected it since it's basically an iron pole. I shake my head and try to regain my focus. Weapon not found! Terrorist backup detected! Weapon not found! Oh, poor baby. Looks like my efforts weren't wasted, at least. The shinobi lets go of Clara. Thank goodness Alexei didn't install any weapons. In fact, it doesn't even look like the shinobi even realizes it's not in the body it's supposed to be in. While its repeated error statements are annoying, that's also kind of sad. I'm no terrorist, but come at me. The shinobi responds by letting out a static roar from its head speaker before tearing up some fallen scrap metal and brandishing like its sword. Whoa. The speaker-head killing machine raises its rudimentary sword as it lunges at me. It's hard to believe it's made of metal based on how light its movements are. But what's not light is the way it swings that thing down. I wouldn't want to get hit by that. Sayoko! Anya tosses me a road sign that's been cut off of its base. In fights like these, the longer the reach, the better. I swing wide and parry the shinobi swing. Come at me. Yo. I carefully ward off each and every swing. It may be fast, but it's nothing I can't keep up with. But more importantly, in hand-to-hand combat with a human, or rather a ghost opponent, the advantage goes to whoever has the most endurance and stamina. But I'm up against a robot. I may be fine now, but how long can I keep this up? I know that negative thinking will just distract me and expose me to further risk, but I just can't unthink these thoughts. It's no use. I need to go on the offensive. Instead of holding the shorter end of the road sign to prioritize small, quick swings, I shift my grip and hold the sign out as long as I can to take advantage of centrifugal. I shift my grip and hold the sign out as long as I can to take advantage of centrifugal force. As a result, I don't have time to adjust to know how different it feels swinging it before the next attack comes. Instead of swinging warding off the attack this time, I swing back as hard as I can, focusing as much strength as I can into my arms and my grip to withstand the impact of the collision. The iron plate of the road sign starts to warp. Whoa. Perhaps thanks to the help of the centrifugal force, the effect of the impact is more than just even. The enemy retreats with a few nimble backflips, as if to have forgotten that it's made of metal. So I take another swing. It can defend against the attack, sure, but the ground underfoot. But the ground underfoot's too unstable to completely cushion the impact. So with plenty of leeway, I take another large swing. Now that it's lost its posture, it can neither dodge nor block properly. It may be a machine, but the sheer weight of the roadside attack is too much for it to take as I knock away its metal shard sword. Now that it's defenseless, one last attack should be enough to... Stop! Alexei shouts. I reflexively freeze in place. The shinobi doesn't miss this opportunity to quickly make some distance. Please don't destroy her! It's not a her anymore, you idiot. It's a killing machine. And it could kill you too. I can't just let you destroy the one person who loves me. That thing doesn't love you. At least not yet. It's not even complete. At the very least, that's the body that will be hers. If this project succeeds, how do you expect me to look at her without thinking about how I destroyed her body once in order to protect myself? I couldn't live with myself. Having lost this weapon, the shinobi comes at me with his bare fist now. Its already fast movements feel even faster. Can't you compromise at least a little? No. I want her to be perfect. I finally found someone to love. And I need my love to be more perfect than anyone else's. It looks like the enemy hasn't gotten faster, but I've gotten really tired. I know that the reason nobody loves me is because there's nobody I love. I value myself. But unlike other people, I can't value someone else. I've never wanted to. Alexei speaks in a disgraceful, nasally voice. His enunciation is bad. It's hard to catch the words he's saying, but I think I can get what he's trying to say. Everyone instinctively sees that, which is why they don't love me. I'm sure there are tons of people out there who can pretend to love others. But I don't get it. How? How can they do something like that? And why? I swing the road sign in a wide horizontal sweep, but the shinobi dodges by bending backwards. Okay, fine. I toss my weapon away too. I lose some reach and power, but I gain maneuverability. I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to lie. But I want to love. I want to be loved, damn it! You just don't understand. I barely managed to keep toe-to-toe with a shinobi. I may be tough, but there's no telling what a metal fist to the vitals will do to me. That's why I made her. I tried taking out my gun and shouting, "Freeze!" An idea so crazy, it might just... Yeah, that did nothing. Or rather, it did worse than nothing, as the shinobi kicks my gun out of my hands, so now I've lost my trump card. I'm pretty sure that this is all Alexei's fault. I don't want to hear your complaining. Just how much longer must we bend to your will? We don't hate you as much as you think we do, so why can't you just let it go? Enough complaining! It seems to me that the only reason you can love her is because she's like a part of you, and you know that. Maybe you're right, but maybe not. I'll never know until I try. I guess he's got a point. I get it. My wish is full of contradictions. I know that, but please, you're my only hope. Actually, I don't really get it. But I do get the feeling of indignation and the refusal to back down. Please stop her, without hurting her. You're so selfish, you stinky poophead. Fine. Whatever. I guess I'll run as much as I can. I turn back to the shinobi and retreat. I'm sure that thing will chase after me. I'll think things out once I run. I'll think things out as I run. Maybe the battery will even run out in the meantime. It's good to analyze your issues. You're showing signs of improvement. How wonderful! I get distracted by Yoda's voice. My feet stop for a moment. Retreat failed. I use both my hands to guard against a heavy kick. But you might be hoping for a bit too much. What's Yodo talking about? Is she trying to do counseling? Here? If her strategy is to convince Alexei to let me destroy this thing, then I approve. If so, I suppose I can bear it a bit longer. Yodo gives me a wink. I don't understand what that's supposed to mean. Mr. Alec, are you well versed in the Shinobi's program's inner workings? No, of course not. I mean, just think about what kind of program it is. Look at the log. This line here, it's been sending the same request at fixed intervals, but it always fails. And it's been returning this error message. You think you can lecture me, you amateur? Of course I can see that. Then do you know what it means? No, how can I? There's no way I can tell what the function does just by looking at the... It's trying to communicate with headquarters. If there's a terrorist attack in one place, there's a possibility there's multiple other attacks happening. There's a possibility that there's multiple other attacks happening simultaneously, right? That's why it's been trying to contact city headquarters incessantly. Every second. As if it's waiting for the command to abandon this post. Oh my god, there's so many big words. As if it's waiting for the command to abandon its post at the tiny, insignificant mall and go defend an important person or place. I see. How did you know? No, more importantly, are you suggesting that we attack from that angle? That's right. Now that it's changed modes, I don't think it will accept normal commands, but this is an exception. The code changes at fixed intervals. But since it's offline, we can go at it as much as we want. By sending the shut-off command with a little signal spoofing, the Shinobi will mistake it as a command from Mission Control, huh? Okay, but how do we spoof the signal? That's where you come in. You can do it, can't you? I sure can. I'm a genius. Kinda. Siyoko? Hang in there just a little longer. Hey, give me that back. Yodo pulls something off his hand and tosses it my way. I see. This is the thing Alexei used the first time we met. Oh, okay. Bang. The Otaku guard, was it? If you ask me, it needs a better name. You should get Pacifica or someone to think of something. I see Pacifica's face in the back of my mind. I want to have coffee with her again sometimes. A moment before the shinobi's punch lands, the guard's thin outline envelops me. Not a scratch. The shinobi stumbles back a step as if to ascertain what exactly blocked its attack. I find myself impressed by its cautiousness, though maybe I just assumed that my codename Ninja is synonymous with its codename Shinobi. Damn it, is this it? No, is this it? No, no, no. Yes, yes, yes. That's gotta be it. Damn you. I silently tell Alexei way to go as he shouts at his computer. But if I remember correctly, this thing's power output is still unstable, isn't it? I probably shouldn't use it for too long, or it might explode or something. I dare to shut off the guard, hold up my open palms, and beckon the shinobi to come at me. I got it, just a little more. There's no way the shinobi will miss the fact that I'm way open. He leaps at me as if in recognition that this is his chance at victory. Guard on! I activate the guard at the very last moment before those mental fingers reach me. The guard deflects the enemy. The unexpected rebound causes the shinobi to lose its footing, with one leg up in the air. I quickly shut off the guard to try and trip with the shinobi's remaining pivot leg. With a sweeping kick. Ow! Please work! While the shinobi may have lost its footing, its legs are still just bare metal poles, and I just kicked one of them with my shin. I may be a ninja, but my leg's still made of flesh and bone. I wasn't expecting it to be easy. Still. I writhe in pain, forgetting to activate the guard, my lifeline. My hatred for the entire world is the only thing keeping my consciousness together. I hate everything. Yes, even Yodo, who suddenly sounded like a computer expert despite never even once hitting that. Despite never even once hinting that she'd know a thing about them. Wait, what's up with that anyway? No, no. More importantly, what about the shinobi? I find the shinobi fallen over, still motionless. In the corner of my eye, I see Alexei glistening in cold sweat as he gives me a thumbs up. I did it! I did it! I really am a genius! How's that, you dumbasses? Pwah, 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 pwah! Trying my best to ignore that noise violation, I instead turned to Yodo for an explanation. Yodo, what happened back there? Oh, right! What happened to Clara? I wonder if she's okay. She's clearly dodging the question. But now that she mentions Clara, we all remember that she's what set this whole scuffle into motion. Anya goes off to check on her. The rest of us follow behind. If Clara's alive, I wonder if we can change the church. I wonder if we can charge the church a rescue fee. It wouldn't change the fact that we've gotten her killed several times over. Is it possible to live with your neck like this? As she asks that question, Anya shows us Clara. Or perhaps I should say her corpse. No rescue fee for us, I guess. I let out a dry chuckle. Is that a corpse? Ah! Upon seeing Clara's corpse, Alexei turns pale, takes several steps backwards, and starts vomiting. But apart from her oddly bent neck, she looks perfectly fine. At least nothing's spilling out of her or anything. Huh. Are you not used to seeing corpses? This guy's a shut-in, see? If you guys who are the freaks. Blah. Honestly, there's not much difference between a corpse and what this guy's trying to make. But I'm sure they're totally different things in his mind. I guess that's good enough for now. Don't worry. I'll take this thing someplace else. No, there's something I want to ask you, Yoru. That's right. I can't let this opportunity pass. I need to ask Yoru herself. Please, get rid of it. Look, Alexei's getting impatient too. Then I'll come with you. Okay, then. Let's go. The two of us head away from the amusement park and go all the way to the outer limit of town. What's a good place to get rid of this thing, anyway? Wherever you think is a good place. Then let's just go a little bit further, if that's okay with you, Yoru. Yeah, it's fine. I want to give those two some time together, too. Good idea. It sure is. We walk a bit more after that conversation. If you look back, you can see a full, sprawling view of the town. It reminds me of the view I once shared with Yodo back at the top floor of the church, though the angle is completely different. Each light in town tells the ghosts who live there. There are lots of worthless, good-for-nothing ghosts, but there are also ghosts that I like. Even if they sometimes cause explosions with weird science experiments. A freezing wind blows. Whoa, that's cold! Yeah, it sure is. I guess we should get back quickly. Why don't we light a bonfire, Sayoko? It's way too cold. Oh, I've got matches. I've also got a lot to talk about. Yodo's eyes look straight through mine. Her eyes go from an anxious panic to confident determination. I nod. It's exactly what you think, Yodo. I don't feel bad at all. I just feel a little ticklish that she's seen through me. I do want to talk. But we don't have anything to burn. There's not even trash around here. I casually glance at Clara's corpse. Then I look back at Yodo. She shrugs. I shrug back and let go of the corpse. When the corpse plops onto the ground, a large can rolls out of Clara's coat pocket. Oh right, the can of fuel. She was trying to give this thing to the robot, wasn't she? Oh, how convenient! Yodo murmurs. I'm so glad you came, Yodo. Sayoko? Yodo whispers. It looks like she's caught on to the fact that I'm going to ask what I haven't asked all this time. She knows she'll have to answer. I'm the one who brought Yodo out here, so I'm the one who has to start off the discussion. We work together, and on our time off, we hang out with people we know. When we get home, we chat before we go to sleep. It's a little questionable that we share the same bed, but there's only one bed, and two of us. I speak from the heart. If I want Yodo to expose everything about herself, I should expose myself to her too. At least, that's how I feel. Exposing ourselves to each other. Yes, that's the showing thing that Yodo once brought up. I use that logic to encourage myself. Because otherwise, I'd be too scared to push forward, I'm sure. I've always hated this town. I've always wanted to go home. I tell myself that even if I can't string my thoughts in a coherent order, if I just say everything I need to say, she'll understand how I feel. Also, I have always felt bad not knowing why ghosts even exist. So with Pacifica and Anya's help, I tried to leave the town. Though for some reason I don't really remember what happened back then. It's an especially vague memory of mine. Pacifica and Anya were my friends back then too. We were trying to get to the outside world just like we are now. I'm pretty sure it was my desire to go home that motivated us back then. Yes, back then. To be honest, now that I have you, I feel like I don't need to go back to where I was before. As long as I've got you and Pacifica and Anya, I don't mind being here. Back then I really wanted to go home. But now, I feel like I've got a place I belong here. But I haven't done anything! I shake my head. I'd die for you. How can I say that with such a straight face? I don't want you to die, Sayoko. I can feel the blood rushing to my cheek a moment late. I won't die. I'm a ghost after all. That's just a standard ghost joke. I try to plaster on a smile to hide my embarrassment, but only end up with a half-twitching face. I give up and take a deep breath. The cold air stings my nose. I can feel tears welling up in my eyes. I killed those two. I shot them with my gun. Probably on purpose. I pull out my gun and point it at Yoru, trying to remember how it felt back then. For the snippets of my memory that I do recall, I feel like I can remember the fact of... I feel like I can remember the fear of shooting the gun and the surprise at the recoil. Did that really happen? Yodo keeps listening to me without faltering in the slightest. The three of us once tried to get out of the city. We used the same car as before. Things were going smoothly at first, I think. But then something happened. Something that's since gone hazy. Despite all that happened back then, Pacifica and Anya said they'll try to help me again. And that's not all. They fuss over me so much. They even brought you into my life, Yodo. It's not that I want to go home. I just want to go further than we did last time. With everyone. They did all that for me and I killed them. There must be some reason why I thought that was the right thing to do. I feel like I need to find out that reason. But, Sayoko, you might just end up repeating what happened that time. I feel that the same thing won't happen if I've got you, Yodo. So I'd like to ask you again. Will you please come with me? I can't do anything. I just need your presence, Yodo. I've already shot you once before, haven't I? I feel like everything will be okay if you're with me. I know there's no reason to believe it, but that's just how strongly I feel about you. And what sort of feelings do you have for me? Special. Yes, I feel that you're special to me, Yoru. Yeah, that's right. I see. So I'm special, huh? I'm happy to hear it, thank you. I wasn't happy at all to be called special before, but when you say it, it makes my heart feel so warm, Sayoko. Yodo snuggles up against me as she says that. She seems so childish despite being quite a bit bigger than me. She certainly feels warm like a child, too. Sayoko, you said you didn't understand why you ghosts even exist, right? Yodo speaks while still clinging to me. All I can see is her head, so her voice draws in even more of my attention. Probably. I know even less about who or what I am, or why I am. So we're similar in that regard. You wouldn't happen to know who I am either, would you, Sayoko? Sorry, I don't. True. This town's just full of things we don't know. What a mess, huh? Yodo's making it sound like she's not one of us. Is she not a ghost? So, as a result, I was a little confused at first. Like, why do I have to be here? I was wondering if there was some way to quit this whole time. And that's when someone from the church approached me. Quit what, exactly? I think back to that story from the insane customer Anya talked about. This town is a prison. There are several jailers among us to observe. No, that can't be it. That's ridiculous. I really can't do anything. I'm not strong like you. I'm not cool like Pacifica. And I'm not handy like Anya. But you were amazing just earlier today, weren't you? That was just because I knew what was going on. I was confident because I had prior knowledge. At first, I wasn't motivated to step in at all. That project was just such in bad taste. I figured it'd be for the best if you just tore that thing to pieces, Sayoko, but... It'd be a little out of character for you to say that, huh? Yodo smiles and continues. I noticed that Alec really treasures that girl. I tried putting myself in his shoes and got really scared. And before I knew it, I set myself into motion without thinking. I don't think anybody could have done what you did without thinking, honestly. There's nothing amazing about applying knowledge you just so happen to have. No, it is amazing. I'm really curious to know exactly who you are, Yoru. I certainly do know things that you don't, Sayoko. But I can't do anything. There's nothing I can do to help you out. Even if I told you everything I know. It wouldn't make you happy, Sayoko. We won't know that until you tell me. To tell the truth, I'm a teensy bit different than you and the other ghosts, Sayoko. I can tell you a little about this town, but there's no point. It wouldn't amount to anything. I listen intently to what Yodo's saying. Every single word of it. I try to swallow those words and process them, but I can't digest any of it. There are many things that I don't know either. Like how the church noticed me. At first, I thought I'd eventually understand what I am, but in the end, I still don't know. But there were some good things, though. Yodo stops clinging to me and looks me straight on. You appeared out of the blue and rescued me. You sat next to me, and you even gave me a name as a present. How could I not be happy? I feel like I had no choice but to stick with you forever. As Yodo reminisces, her eyes sparkle with a passionate light. It's almost as if the bonfire isn't the only fire burning here. Earlier I said, please, I hope the cover art is not an explosion. Please. But I guess a burning corpse is not the same thing, but it's still horrid, okay? She's so dazzling. I can't help but look down at the floor to avert my gaze. It wasn't that big a deal. I'll go with you, Sayoko. Wherever you go, but... But what? Yodo turns her back to me. I look up to find her looking at the city nightscape. For a second, I almost start to think that there's nobody left within those lights. The city nightscape means completely different things to me, Yodo. It's a little sad to think about. She and I are different. The two of us are actually quite distant from each other, but only just so happen to be physically close right now. Just thinking about it like that makes me want to cry. You see, Sayoko, the truth is there are things in this world that are more meaningless than you think. Some things are just nonsense that seem true, and you might just be getting your hopes up for nothing. I wish I could be Yodo, because then I can understand the reason for her tears. Is that still okay with you? Will you still stay with me? That question is surely an important one for both me and for Yodo. I wish I could put a stop to her tears on command. Of course I do. I walk around Yodo's back so I can see her face to face. I gaze right into her eyes. Of course. I get it. You don't have to say it twice. I hesitate to talk back. I don't think there's anything I can really tell you, Sayoko. It's okay. I'm satisfied. More satisfied than I ever could be, even though I haven't gained any information whatsoever. You're so nice. That's not true. Anyway, let me just ask this one thing. I remember what Anya said earlier. I'm free to come up with my own theories, aren't I? Yodo. I call her by her name. Her name's Yodo because I met her at night. It really is a dumb, lazy, weird name that I just came up with on the spot. But before I knew it, it's a name I've grown to love. Yodo, are you a human? Yoda's eyes open wide, after a moment of silence. Yodo laughs. A human? Well, there are times where I've thought it'd be nice to be a human. Am I human? I never thought I'd be asked that. It's not that funny of a question, is it? I squat down next to the bonfire, embarrassed. Sorry, but even if I'm not a human, that doesn't change the fact that I want to be your trusty roommate forever, Sayoko. You're not trusty at all, though. There must be something behind the scenes of this town that's sure to make me sad. Let's go back, Sayoko. But now is not the time for me to know what that is. I take Yodo by the hand. Okay. I'm a ghost and she's a... well, I'm not sure what she is, but at the very least she's not human. The two of us walk together in the snow. Once we get back, the strange man is working desperately on his robot. Today's another strange day. I wonder if there are any humans out there who know about these strange happenings. I suddenly notice the sky turning white in the distance. Another day comes to a close. Another day out of eternity. Okay. How's this? Please, work. 1 second later, Alexei clacks the enter key on his keyboard. I should have glanced at Anya sitting next to him. She nods. I plug my ears with my index fingers. Why does this keep happening? Thanks to my makeshift earplugs, I don't have to expose my ears to Alexi's shrieks directly. After several repetitions of the cycle, I've learned how to deal with it. Everything was going smoothly up until the body movement test. Both Alexei and Anya said as much, and they never looked like they had reached a dead end. However, ever since the little violent incident, and my subsequent conversation with Yoru, progress just hasn't been going well. That said, it's not because of damage to the parts during the scuffle or anything. In fact, the only damage I managed to inflict, with Yoru's help, was some minor warping of the leg frame. Rather, the issue here is that once the hardware implementation was mostly complete, Alexei wanted to do a software test, but then the hole in the ghost pocket effect caused Alexei's code to disappear. Oh god. Ever since we started coming here, less has been disappearing, and at a lower frequency, but nonetheless, things are still disappearing one by one on the software side, which is causing Alexei headaches. Since we can see the parts, we can consciously be aware of their existence and presence, but programs have no physical form and are incomprehensible to us, so it's hard to be aware of them. At least that's the theory as to why code keeps disappearing. But Alexei just cynically says, I just have to write the code faster than it disappears, and spends days on end tapping up a storm programming. However, with every test, some part of the program would go missing, and the entire unit would stop moving, causing him disappointment, despair, and... Ah, damn it! He screamed shamefully. Maybe things would have gone better if Yoru didn't go home. I pull my fingers out of my ears and speak out to Anya. I don't know. It's not like we can force her to stay, though. True, but still. After our bonfire conversation, Yoru walked back with me to Alexei's house. But she had this to say about his project. I just can't support it. No matter what. I'm sorry. She declined to help and instead went back home. I didn't stop her, of course. But that brings us to the present. The mood in the lab isn't good, but I'm optimistic. Somehow I just know they'll find a solution. Alexei is just that skilled of an engineer. That portable otaku guard was a pretty high-quality piece of tech after all. The front doorbell rings. That's the first time I've heard that sound from the inside. It feels more formal than a doorbell at my place. I'll go answer it. Anya trots off to the entrance, leaving the hallway door open. What? For some reason, Anya's yelp gives me deja vu. Oh right. It's like when we first met Clara. Is she back? Since it's a big house, the entrance is far away, so I can't make out what they're talking about. I decide to wait. Uh-oh. I regret my optimism when several seconds later, men wearing coats march into the lab. Inquisitor. Alexei, could you come with us for a moment? There's 5 men. Large men. I can't deal with them while protecting Alexei and Anya at the same time. Oh, my phone's on, sorry. Lamau. Sorry, I have to answer this. That's my sister. Shall we? Okay, we're fine. She's supposed to be sleeping, so that's why I got worried. I grind my teeth. Hey, what are you accusing Lexi of? Anya rushes in after the men. You are abusing technology in order to blaspheme God, are you not? The man who appears to be the leader presses Alexei with a firm voice. He glares at Alexei. I can't help but follow his gaze and look at him too. He already looked pale due to stress and lack of sleep, but now he looks even paler. He's even whiter than a ghost. He reminds me of a worn-out bar of soap in my bathtub. How did you know? We have eyes everywhere. Anya jumps in front of the man as if to shield Alexei from those eyes. Hey, Alexei's free to research what he wants in his own free time, isn't he? I back her up without a moment's delay. That's right. What right does the church have to complain? The church must be stepping in due to my involvement. I thought things have calmed down lately, but maybe I've just been too careless. Either way, it's too late to regret it now. I will answer your questions in order. First, this man is technically an official follower of the church. While he's not a church-going believer, he is still our brother. And since he is our brother, we must have and adhere to our customs. Is that true? Yes, it is true. I am a follower. I understand. I'll come with you, but these ladies... Alexei! Anya shouts. Alexei shuts up. The man quickly interjects in the ensuing silence. Do not take us for liars. As for your other question, this man's workplace, the movie theater, as well as the amusement park, are both subsidized by the church. The workers are also followers of the church, though this fact is not well known. I can hear Anya murmuring that she didn't know that. This man is both a follower of the church and was given employment by the church, and yet he associates with a ninja that opposes the church. We thus have a right to complain about his actions, do we not? Mr. Alexei, I'll kill all of them! Alexei holds his hand out to refuse my suggestion. It's okay, I wasn't expecting the Inquisition, but this might be a test from God. Mr. Inquisitor, may I speak with a priest during my trial? The priest is a compassionate man. I'm sure he will listen to your words, no matter how asinine they may be. Okay, I see. Alexei approaches the man with his hands raised. Two of the men immediately frisk him. My sister's texting me. Okay, we're fine. There's a gun in my pocket. If I prioritize annihilating the enemy, I have fair odds of overall success, though not without sacrifices. But it looks like this is Alexei's problem, if anything. If that's the case, then I've got no reason to needlessly kill these men. Well, I'll be back. Eventually. In my moment of hesitation, the men quickly drag Alexei away. We stand stock still in shock in the silent room. He protected her, didn't he? Anya murmurs, what do you... I try to ask, but since my throat's dry, it comes out weird. What do you mean? He probably didn't want us to draw attention to his creation by resisting or protesting. Otherwise, they might have destroyed her. That is true. Oh, how shrewd. Yeah, he really is shrewd. He might say that he can't be loved or be loved, but I think he's got some character in that regard. Maybe you're right. He could really use some more confidence, though. Anya laughs weakly before letting out a big sigh. Say, Sayoko. Anya gazes into my eyes and carefully chooses her words. I know it might be shameless of me, but there's something I'd like to ask you. I get impatient and ask her a question for her. You want me to save Alexei? Yeah, exactly. I know it's an unreasonable request. I don't have that much money, but I can still pay you what I do have, so... What? Hold on, Anya. You don't have to pay me. When Anya casually starts bringing up the question of money, I frantically gesture that it won't be necessary. But I'm asking you an unreasonable favor, and this isn't even your problem to begin with, Sayoko. When I raided the church, you brought out the armored vehicle to come rescue me, and I didn't pay you then. I just did that because I wanted to. Anya really is a good girl. I know for a fact, and I feel it with my heart. I'm sorry. I know I sound weird right now. Maybe she's even too good. I feel like her dedication is going a bit overboard in this whole ordeal. This isn't your problem to solve, Anya. You're not a ninja. And you don't do whatever it is that Pacifica does. But despite all that, you're always doing your best and putting yourself in danger. You're so reliable. Oh, really? That's why I just want to pay back the favor. I always want to thank you for everything you do, but just saying thank you feels half-hearted. So I never get to say it. I'm running out of air in my lungs, so I take a deep breath before I continue. As you know, there are very few things I'm good at, but I want you to rely on me more. I'll do anything I can for you, Anya. I start running out of the room. I need to chase after those men. The Inquisitors, I believe? I once heard. I stop at the sound of Anya's words. I once heard from a shithead woman who was in that sort of crowd. She said, "That's just a group of outcasts. That lonely girl's just trying to force herself to find a place she belongs. The nerve of her." Anya's voice is full of rage. I don't know the finer details of that interaction, but I can bet it was incredibly frustrating. I mean, sure, we may have just formed a group because we didn't fit in any other groups, but in fact, I definitely think that was the case. But so what? Is it wrong to associate with like-minded peers? But it's not like we forced ourselves to group out of desperation, you know? That's why I made up my mind. This time it's Anya's turn to run out of breath as she gasps for air. I decided to treasure my friends as much as I can, so that I won't be embarrassed no matter who sees us. If I do that, then nobody can tell me that we're only friends out of necessity. You know? So, shit. I'm so uncool right now. I told myself I'd never talk about this. The tears welling up in Anya's eyes seem almost infectious, as tears start to form in my eyes as well. Maybe it's because Anya's so overwhelmingly precious, and I don't know how else to express it. Why are you crying? Come on! You're crying too, Anya. And thus, we both cry. I guess when it's just us two, without Pacifica or Yoru around, we're just a couple of crybabies. Weeping together like this feels so girly and dumb, and yet, it's so satisfying. Once the tears have mostly stopped, I give Anya a thumbs up and speak up. I'm off. I'm counting on you. Leave it to me. I sniff as I run. My nose stops dripping. I fling open the front door and dash into the snowy outdoors. It's not hard to catch up to men who are walking. Thankfully, since we're in the outskirts of town, there aren't many buildings to obstruct the view. Thanks to the fuel that is Anya's simple, earnest friendship, I'm filled with boundless energy unlike anything I've ever felt before. Basically, it feels a little comically overdramatic as I block the men's path all ninja-like. Hand over Alexei. You just quietly handed him over a minute ago. Please understand. I'll be okay. Let's just say, the situation has changed. I put my gun at the lead Inquisitor. We're off to a good start. So you've changed your mind, I see. Do you intend to take this man back, even if it requires the use of force? Well, I suppose you could say that. The Inquisitor takes a black rectangular object out of his pocket. I can't help but gasp. No sudden movements! I recognize what it is the Inquisitor took out. A transceiver. Do it! I don't know what came first, the sound or the impact. I pull the trigger out of shock. The recoil hits my upper body harder than I expected, causing me to take a few steps back. Why? I thought I'd brace my legs better than that. I get a bad feeling as I look over my shoulder behind me. Ooh. There's red blood splattered all over the pure white snow. I don't even want to think about it, but I feel my abdomen a little lower than my solar plexus. Oh, come on. They got me. I've been shot. But nobody in front of me even has a gun out. I'm confused for just a second. Then I start to process what had just happened with surprising composure. I've been sniped. They've got a sniper. Shit! I screwed up. I scream aloud in an attempt to maintain endogenous? I scream out loud in an attempt to maintain endogenous opioid levels in my brain. The pain from a gunshot wound doesn't come immediately. It'll intensify as soon as I let my guard down, so I need to keep myself at a natural high. If you call yourself a sniper, don't aim for the gut, go for a headshot. One shot, one kill. I shout like an idiot as I use the calm part of my mind to churn out thoughts at high speed. So that's why the Inquisitor is acting so smug. I suppose he's already planned out countermeasures for a ninja like me. If the sniper's been watching me this whole time, then they probably saw me climb to the top of a building like some sort of action hero too. How embarrassing. They probably had themselves a chuckle looking at me. I wish I could smack them right now, but I don't even know where they are. As I think those thoughts, the snow at my feet burst into the air. I guess that was a warning shot. As in, I can always shoot you again. I make sure that I've still got a firm grip on my gun, but I'm not sure I can keep holding it for more than a few dozen seconds. My gut's bleeding even worse than I thought. If I make any moves, I'll only reach my time limit that much quicker. I hate to admit it, but there's no way I can win. Go, ninja, go! I'll be okay! Alexi's hair-raising shriek snaps me back to my senses. He's right. I need to get moving. I back away, keeping my sights set on the Inquisitor. Even if it's just for formality's sake. Once I've gotten enough distance, I turn around. And hide under the cover of a building. I find a conveniently placed garbage can and hide behind it. It's better than nothing, at least. I close my eyes. There's no indication that anyone's pursuing me. I guess they don't feel like finishing me off, which is a bit of a relief. That said, I don't know where the sniper is, nor do I know if they can still see me. I don't even know if there's only one sniper. I can feel my consciousness fading. Oh, right. If I can just forget about this injury, then it'll be as good as healed. It's worth a shot, as long as I don't freeze to death beforehand. I feel my 5 senses fade away. Even my sense of time. Miss Ninja? Miss Ninja! Are you okay? My consciousness suddenly snaps back to reality. I recognize that grating, saturine voice. It's Clara. As my consciousness returns, so does the hot, burning pain of the gunshot wound in my gut. I groan. You're badly injured! You need first aid! Thanks to this asshole seeing my wound, the entire disappearing process has been reversed. I'm fine. Just leave me alone. Go do something else. I can't! I need to treat you! There's no point. I'm a ghost after all. Who cares if I die? I care! Oh! Found it! After finding bandages or something in her bag, Clara sits down next to me and leans over to inspect my wound. Her sugary scent frustrates me. Clara, why do you care so much about us? It's not like you need to. There's tons of other people out there who love you. There's no deep meaning behind those words. I just want to get through to her that there's no point in her getting close to me. The priest told me to! It was probably some sermon about the importance of friendship or something. What did he say? He said that I was the only one who could save your souls. He said he expected great things from me. I almost write it off as foolish nonsense before I make a sudden realization. I focus my hazy consciousness and reflect on the words Clara said. Clara, why did you go to Alexi's house? Because the priest told me that you guys were all up to something at the movie projectionist's house. I could feel my heart start pounding. Did you tell the priest what happened during your visit? I sure did. The priest is nice and gave me lots of advice every day. When I hang out with you guys, I always have a friendship review with the priest. As she says that, Clara tries to stick a bandage on my wound. I grab her hand without thinking. The bandage flutters down to the ground. You consciously did all that, and yet you still don't understand what it is you've done? Are you kidding me? Why did Clara approach us? Surely it was because she was a simple-minded idiot. Felt an odd sense of camaraderie towards us. At least that's what I thought. But that wasn't the case at all. Clara's a moving wiretap. A breathing surveillance camera sent by the priest. Or in simpler words, you're a spy. Word of Alexi's girlfriend spread from Clara to the church, thus setting the Inquisition in motion. The priest used the power of his faith to raise their thoughtless, almost hopelessly optimistic girl into a splendid spy. I felt that the church had been pretty hands-off lately, but they'd actually been surprisingly thorough in their surveillance. Come to think of it, when we met Alexi, he was working at the church-funded movie theater. He's a follower, albeit a stray one. And in that case, it should be a given that some of his co-workers might be followers too. We watched several of those co-workers walk by as we waited for Alexi. At least one Nosey's follower must have reported our conversation with Alexi to the church. After hearing that report, the church, that is, the priest, must have had some doubts about it. Around the time we made the... I need to fix my chair. It has like a foot kickstand, but I don't like using it too much. Because then I don't sit up straight. Around the time the report was made, Anya and I disappeared off the streets. I should assume that the priest got word of our disappearance, too. With all this evidence piled up, it's only natural that the priest, or at least somebody else, would come to the conclusion that Alexi's working on something with the ninja, the repair workshop apprentice. The church must know about Alexi's engineering skill. Furthermore, since he's a heretic, it's only natural that the church would feel threatened by him potentially leading a violent revolt against its religious authority. Or, at least, I think that's how religions work. Right after we contacted the heretic, we vanished like smoke. That should be enough to cause panic. Wait, there's no 2 there. That should be enough to cause panic in the church. The priest calmly responded to the panic by sending in Clara. After some complications, Clara broke her neck, revived, and returned to the priest to report all of the details to the priest. Oh, speaking about Clara breaking her neck, why did she even have that can of fuel to offer in the robot? Why didn't that raise more alarms with me? Clara knew she was making something there. Her idea of an appropriate gift was that can of fuel. I did nothing! I didn't do anything wrong! I let go of her pale, slender wrist. I despise you. A certain sound of despair drives me to speak in the coldest voice I can manage. Clara has been an irritating pest, but now I realize that somewhere in my heart I had started to grow fond of our semblance of a relationship. You innocently hide behind a facade of goodwill, as you spread the ill will of others as an intermediary, all the while feigning ignorance to protect yourself. I tremble at the thought that this was all just a ruse. I'm mad. And maybe a little sad, too. You're disgusting. Filthy. Far worse than the priest himself. To berate myself for my own stupidity, I have to act as coldly as possible. To do what I need to do. I don't know what you're talking about! Just the other day I came by to help because I was worried about you, remember? I'm not a spy. No, you knew. You just pretended not to. You've been pulling the wool over our eyes so your shepherd would praise you like a good little sheep. But you couldn't bear the guilt of deceiving someone. But you couldn't bear the guilt of deceiving someone, so you deceived yourself this whole time. I think the endogenous opioid levels in my brain are rising again. The pain has faded, and all I feel is a boiling heat like magma churning in my stomach. Clara cries pathetically, her nose dripping. But I don't feel a thing watching her. I proceed with the execution. The execution of a relationship. I feel like something similar has happened before. In this town, nobody dies. But if you kill a relationship, they're dead to you. Don't you dare show your face in front of me or my friends ever again. Ever talking to you again, I won't hurt you. I'll just ignore you. No information for spies. Clever tries to say something, but I cut her off. Go away. But I tried so hard! Go away! When I shout, sparks start to fly in her eyes. Maybe I strained myself too much. I can't even hear Clara's sobbing anymore, so maybe I'm starting to lose my hearing too. Soon enough, not even my sense of time can drag me down. My consciousness disappears. Dang. 3 sections in the final episode? Holy. Yeah, 3 sections. Holy. I feel so downhearted. But more than that, I'm driven by a sense of duty. So I reach for the doorknob, only to realize the door is locked. Until I break it down, and I'm free to go inside. Just break in a window. After a tragic defeat in my separation from Clara, I end up right back where I started at Alexi's house. I slip out of the hallway, and head into the familiar living room, and enter the lab. Sorry, Anya. I got sniped. So I was thinking of getting a bulletproof vest this time. I feel so miserable. I know there's no way I can speak on the spot here, so I say lines I've thought up beforehand. Do you think Lowe's sells them at her store? If so, I'd like to borrow some money, so, It's not that I've forgotten the words I was going to say next. It's because I notice a frowning Yodo tapping up a storm beside her. Anya stands up as she notices me and shrugs her shoulders. I'm definitely curious as to what's going on here, but there's something I have to do first. Anya, I'm sorry. I failed. I told her the details of how I was dealt a pathetic defeat by the Inquisition. It feels especially humiliating after I confidently ran my mouth. I think the only reason I didn't cry was because Yodo was right there. It's not your fault, Sayoko. You couldn't have predicted all of that. Let's think of a plan together. The 3 of us. Anya looks towards Yodo, our 3rd member. I join her. But Yodo doesn't look away from the monitor for even a moment as she types away at Alexi's keyboard. I can't help but find her focus ghastly. Yodo, what are you doing? Chatting. Chatting with who? With Alex Pride and Joy. Oh, come on! If you keep saying things like that, I'll pull out her motherboard. Would you believe that Yodo edited Alex's unfinished personality data and perfected it? That said, since her body's gone, she's just running in the computer. So, it's like she has no body, but she has a soul? I guess you could say that. Yodo's talking with her soul, and apparently she... Sayoko, this girl keeps begging to go see Alexi. But why? I'm curious to see what sort of conversation they're having, so I peek at the display over Yodo's shoulder. Oh. It's quite different from what you'd usually expect from an email or a chat client. It's a black screen with a continuous string of green text that's not even broken down into paragraphs. It's so plain, it's vomit-inducing. I can't read this. It's not that I can't read any of it. I can barely make out what Yodo's typing in, but the messages that are apparently hers look like patterns of incomprehensible symbols. Don't sweat it, I can't read it either. She said, Alec must be allowed to continue working on me with my intelligence. It should be simple to persuade the church. Prepare my physical body at once. Huh. Even after it's been explained to me, it still just looks like patterns of symbols to me. There's definitely more to Yodo than meets the eye. She knows things that are unfathomable to us. And by us, I mean all of Ghost's kind. She's kind of full of herself, huh? Maybe she gets it from Alexei. Prepare her body, huh? Easier said than done. Anya groans. I ruminate once more on the fact that Alexei created a subconscious. I ruminate once more on the fact that Alexei created a consciousness, a whole personality, within the confines of a computer. It's kind of dizzying. There's an artificial consciousness that can think, feel, and desire, just like me, casually sitting there as if it's no big deal. Things have always been like this. Almost sinfully revolutionary things just casually existing in our presence. But if I were to simply unplug the computer and destroy it on a whim, her consciousness would surely break too. Her existence would end as suddenly as it had begun. How fragile. There's something nostalgic, something precious about that fragility. I'm sure Yodo is the only one who can understand what she wants. Say, Yodo. Sorry, I don't think I can do it either. It looks like the personality data drives are missing. Several internal parts must have disappeared when Mr. Alec was taken away too. I'm at a dead end here. There's nothing I can do about what's disappeared. Is that so? I really do want to do something for her, Sayoko. I swear. So there are things that even Yodo can't do, huh? She's not omnipotent. There are some jars she can't open after all. Wait, no. I should stop judging every little thing Yodo does. It's so petty. If only we could enable her to do as she wants. I know better than anyone else just how fast that body of hers can move. If we could successfully install her into her body, she should be able to free Alexei with brute force. But as long as she can't move, she's helpless. Personally, I was planning on preparing for a second charge as soon as possible. But I guess deciding what to do with her should take priority. I'm useless when it comes to solving these sorts of problems. I suddenly feel so worn out, so I take a seat on a nearby box. Whoa. I jump when I hear a beeping sound. Oh, it's the cleaning robot. The thing Alexei and Anya worked together to create. I thought I had broken it, but Anya assures me it's okay. Just to make sure we watch for a few seconds after the red light turns green, and then... Eureka! Yodo suddenly shouts. She then starts pounding away at the keyboard even harder. Anya and I rush over to the monitor to see what she's typing. You should go inside the vacuum cleaner! After a moment, that incomprehensible pattern of characters starts filling the screen again. Stop complaining! Yodo replies. The response comes a moment later. It's even longer this time. Having free will doesn't mean you will get everything you want for free, you know. Likewise, Yodo's reply gets longer too. She gets a longer response with a shorter wait. Arguing in chat feels so unproductive. Yeah, and Twitch chat too. Anya murmurs. Whatever, I'm gonna do it whether you like it or not. After typing in that message, Yodo takes her eyes off the monitor and turns to us. The monitor behind her fills with a response, then another, and yet another before Yodo finally speaks up as if to drown out the text. Wait, are you gonna stuff that shitty personality of hers into this vacuum cleaner? I'm fed up with her, so I think I will. It's got way fewer parts than a humanoid robot, and it'll take out the hassle of bipedal walking. So that's 2 bugs with 1 stone. I mean, sure, but that'll still take a hell of a long time. Well, don't worry about that. I'm sure I can get it done before it's time to eat. Which is why I want to ditch the slow keyboard and use a more direct input device. Ah, really? I'm sure there's something around here somewhere in this house. As Anya leaves the room to look for a direct input device or whatever, I call out to her. I'm completely useless here right now, so I need to do what it is I can do. Anya, I'll go to Alexi and... Anya turns around. The indescribable look on her face has me confused. What's with that awkward expression? It must be because I failed to meet our expectations after all. I'm sorry. I'm sure you suffered a lot because of me. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't get ahead of myself like that. It's so tacky of me. No, I'm the one who should apologize. I failed to save Alexi. I need to try again. No, you don't have to go. Not now, at least. I tried to put in a but, only for Anya to keep going with full control over the conversation. You must be tired from all the action, right? You should rest. You look exhausted. Besides, I agree with Yoda's thinking. We'll see how that pans out soon enough. We'll see. Yeah, so let's just watch Yoda and make sure she doesn't slack off. I'm a little concerned about how Anya said we'll see, but I decided not to go against her. I decided to sit down on a nearby chair and blankly watch Yoda types on the keyboard. I should be feeling tense right now, but for some reason, I let out a yawn. There's not really much I can do to help here, is there? I don't think there is, at least. Okay, done! I wake up to the sound of Yoda's voice. Uh-oh. I fell asleep. My body feels so powerless, as if my batteries had run out. My eyelids are so heavy. I can't even tell if they're open. I try to brace my legs and stand up, but fail. All I end up doing is letting out a groan. It's at that moment that I realize just how exhausted I am. Yoda speaks up when she first hears the noise. Anya calls out to me and reaches out her hand. Thank you. I'm okay. Thank you. OMG. I can't even speak clearly. How embarrassing. I notice someone standing behind Anya looking down at me. Is that Pacifica? I strain my barely openable eyes. No, it doesn't look like Pacifica. She doesn't have black hair. And this person's an adult. It's someone I know. That person suddenly smiles. I recognize that smile. After all, I've seen it in a movie. It's her. The beloved woman Alexi was trying to create. I gasp. My head slowly starts to wake up, and like magic, my drowsiness disappears. Yes, that's her. But not exactly. To be specific. The hell? I get up and stare at what lies before my eyes. It's the cleaning robot we were talking about earlier. But what once was a smooth, flat surface is now the uncanny valley of a woman's head. Her eyes are shut like she's sleeping. And of course, she's not actually smiling. In any case, it doesn't look like it was just glued on there as a joke. The base of the neck is attached to the robot chassis with some sort of adapter. The head parts haven't disappeared, so I figured it'd be a waste not to use them. The neck also used standardized parts, so attaching it was doable. But that doesn't mean it wasn't tough. I was able to manage with Anya's help. We're done! Yoda looks a little tired, all tangled up to some mysterious cable. But her eyes glitter as she lets out a victory roar. I'm so tired! All that's left to do is turn her on. Done. What about debugging? Anya asked with concern in her voice. She sounds a little tired too. Yoda did say that she's got Anya's help. Nothing debugs anymore! That's what all the cool developers say. They definitely don't. Looks like lotus happened while I was asleep. I must have been out for a long time. My stomach starts to gurgle and hunger as if to prove just how long it's been. I'm sure I can get it done before it's time to eat. Okie dokie! Let's start the installation! Yoda loudly taps on the keyboard, starting the installation. I look at the back of the cleaning robot. It's connected to the computer with a thick cable that looks like a water pipe. Several lights of different colors flicker on and off as the cleaning robot. Several lights of different colors flicker on and off on the cleaning robot before all the lights shut off. It's that same beep I heard earlier. Beep, 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 beep. Now that's a new one. This time it lets out a bunch of short, rapid beep beep beeps. It's a little annoying. But despite all the noise, her head's still asleep. Looks like everything's going just peachy, see? You can trust me! After Yodo says that, the beeping changes to a more musical pattern. And then suddenly... her eyes open. She looks somehow gentle, just like in the movie, but not passive. Her eyes are brimming with confidence. Even someone with hazy memory like me can tell that her image is a perfect reproduction. She has the youthful look only available to women on the cusp of adulthood, but she also has a certain sort of resigned dignity that makes you want to protect her. Anyone who sees her would have the word fascinating burned into their minds, regardless of the details of what exactly they find fascinating about her. She's so fascinating, it's almost destructive. As a result, the state of her body below the neck is such a pity. Suddenly, she loses her complexion and nearly tears her own head off. It looks like she's finally realized what happened to her. She's been fused to a vacuum cleaner. Congratulations! Yoda speaks from behind her. Her neck turns at an inhuman angle and speed to look at Yoru. She lets out the lowest, heaviest beep ever. She then tackles Yoru with a force that no cleaning robot should ever need. Oh! As Yoru lies sprawled out helplessly on the floor, the robot relentlessly pinches her face with an arm extending out of the chassis. The beautiful girl-faced robot lets out a flurry of wild beeps as she proceeds to physically punish Yoru. This is getting brutal. So, she can't talk, huh? She's not built to. Her voice synthesizer module's in her chest, I believe. Oh, I see. Hey, stop talking and help me out! Ow! Ow! Well, you're just reaping what you sowed. I mean, I get how she feels, but let's leave it at that for now. I nervously approach her. Can you blame me? I've never dealt with a murderous woman-headed vacuum cleaner before, and touch her body. It's cold and metallic. Hard to believe her soul is something this inorganic. I mean, she wants to go to Lexi, right? We need to plan out how we're gonna do that. I decide to change the topic. She lets out a few intermittent beeps that sound somehow disappointed. Yoru? You want me to translate? Sure. If you didn't stick the head on, I could have at least strategically disguised myself as a cleaning robot. You know, think, you idiot, think! Ow! I try to soothe the woman-headed vacuum cleaner as I ask a quite logical question. Why did you do that anyway? I can't see how it was necessary. That's exactly why I did it. Try straightening your side a little bit. See what pops out. The arm-pinching Yodo stops moving. The head puts on an expression of sudden realization and... Whoa, watch it! Woohoo! Now try the other side! And the lower left too! Yodo cheers. The robot beeps in response as arms armed with arms. Arms armed with arms, okay. Pop out of the vacuum cleaner. Chases. Each weapon more dangerous than the last. An electronic saw, a blowtorch, an over-the-top machine gun, and... I'm not sure what that green light emitting gun-shaped thing is, but you probably wouldn't want to touch it. What the hell did this girl do? Didn't you make this thing, Anya? Yeah, I did install the self-defense weapons, but the processor's throughput meant only one weapon could be used at a time. Plus, it only worked in low-precision mode. That's why we gave it a flamethrower, since those don't exactly need precision. Anya adds in a whisper. I figured it'd be good enough for self-defense. I mean, its main function is cleaning after all. But the situation has clearly changed. Anya lets out a gasp. When I ask what's wrong, she smiles and speaks unusually quickly, as if she had been waiting for me to ask. The technologically advanced head Alex made is attached to it, so she's using the head's main processor. It's an insanely high-powered monster-class processor necessary to reproduce the vast number of functions of a human body. Of freaking course it can control the weapons with ultra high precision. Robo must have heard as she lets out a high-pitched beep. And then a gunshot. A certain figurine placed on Alexi's work desk gets blown away. Now she can use her installed weapons with 100% efficiency. No. Considering her capacity to autonomously strategize, she can use them to 9,999% efficiency. The beeping overlaps with Anya's excited voice. The robot's laughing. I can tell that much by her facial expression. After looking at her face, I can only hear the inorganic beeping as laughter. Well, that's pretty much it. You're welcome. Now if you'll excuse me. Oh! Well, that goes to show just how precise those weapons are. The robot hovers somewhat gracefully out of the room, apparently satisfied in exacting revenge for being made into an uncanny woman-headed vacuum cleaner. Where is she going? I guess it should be obvious. I call out to the cleaning robot's back, or is it called a stern? I feel like I have to. She stops hovering. Then she beeps. That probably means what? I'm glad to meet you. Good luck. I didn't think of anything to say, so I ended up working out some polite but awkward platitudes. I wonder what's gotten into me. After a few seconds, she lets out a staggered 3 to 4 beeps. Though waiting for my response, she starts moving again. I guess she doesn't want to talk anymore. What did she say? When I ask her for a translation, Yoda lets out an exhausted sigh. Something like, "You're a good kid, dumb but good. Oh, and? I'll talk with you again if I feel like it." So that's what she's like, huh? That's what she's like. She's kind of rude, huh? It's like she's on a high horse. A high hovering horse. But even so, that just goes to show that she's got an individual personality at least. And I think that's important to note. Do my eyes hurt? Me duelen los orejas. Oh no, orejas is ears. Me duelen los ojos. Teehee. How much more do we have left? Oh my god, there's so much left. Okay. We probably have like another 40 minutes left. I mean, that's fine. Whew. Okay. Okay, so do we follow her? Anya speaks up as I'm thinking to myself. Yeah, that seems like the proper thing to do. Well, after we wake up this girl, that is. Anya says with a bit of a chuckle. I look at the floor to find Yoda sleeping on the floor that until just recently had a robot clean up after it. She must be deathly tired. She did look sleepy now that I think about it. Maybe we should wait a bit first. Sorry, but I'm not as gentle with Yoda as you are, Anya. Anya and I, with Yoda in tow, follow the trail in the snow left by the vacuum cleaner. The excess force of anti-gravity leaves a faint single line in a stark contrast to the footsteps left by our bipedal walking. She must be heavy, huh? I think she's a normal weight. It's fine. Yoda was so tired. I was unable to wake her up no matter how hard I tried. That's why I'm carrying her as we talk. That's why I'm carrying her as we walk. But if you think about it, this might be for the best. Considering the difference in stamina between me and Anya, it'd probably be too hard for her. Anyway, it really feels like that vacuum cleaner has gotten ahead in life, huh? Ahead in life? I know it's not exactly the right phrase, but that thing was originally going to be scrapped. Huh? But it's so amazing. I may have mentioned this before, but Alec and I made that thing. I think I remember hearing that. You see, a famous rich person came to our workshop and commissioned a one-off vacuum cleaner. The offer was pretty generous, so due to certain circumstances, we ended up outsourcing the software to Alec. Had you met Alexei at all before that point? Nope. I don't have many personal connections, and his personality is like the embodiment of everything wrong with engineers, you know? I was a little worried if it'd be okay to work with him, but I figured he does his job properly. Alexei certainly is a serious worker at heart, I think. He did go to work on time while we were at his house, but that might have just been a cover so that the church wouldn't find out. He was so skilled. It came as a shock even to me. When you're that skilled, I can kind of let a few personality flaws slide, I guess. He eventually opened up to me a bit, so I teased him about how overly serious he was at first. Anya stops walking and looks at me directly. Then he had the gall to say I realized I could take it easy if I just didn't look at you as a woman. So I hit him with a wrench. She gestures the motion of hitting something with a blunt object before letting out a cackle. He definitely is that sort of guy, huh? Yeah. So we finished the cleaning robot, but as you'd expect, the customer demanded a retake as soon as they saw it. They wanted more luxurious functionality or more chic design. A bunch of worthless complaining, basically. But business is business, so we asked if we could fix it with minimal adjustments, but... Anya, realizing that she had stopped walking, starts taking a few steps before continuing to talk, her eyes fixed ahead of her. Alec was there with us, and he suddenly burst into tears saying, "How cruel can you be?" Oh. Oh, indeed. Makes you think he's fragile, right? That's what I thought too, but then he said, "How can you say that in front of her? Don't you care how she feels?" He wasn't crying for himself. It's not like the vacuum cleaner had an AI at that point, did it? Of course not, but he seriously snapped at the lack of consideration for her feelings. That's crazy, right? He was crying too. Is there something wrong with his head? Anya talks the way a boy talks about a comic book hero. That is, without any hint of scorn. Just admiration, trust, and praise. Furthermore, he's like getting up from his chair. This robot is like a child bimp I meet, and now this other engineer. Do you insult children in front of their parents? Do you? Sounds like Alexei was shouting through the tears, indignant that the customer was mad when he was the one who should be mad instead. Anya continues. You dress so classy for someone who acts so trashy. You dress so classy for someone who acts so trashy. The customer got mad enough to leave without paying. I understand how he felt, but I'm impressed he could say all that. Can't say it was effective, though. Honestly, if it were me, I might have thrown hands. Alexei must have worked so hard. He probably devotes his whole body and soul for paid commissions. It's all just my imagination, of course, but based on everything I know about Alexei, I think I've got an idea of how he felt. I guess that must be what Anya likes about him. Several days after that, he said, "I'll take good care of her," and bought it with his own money. We started talking once we'd see each other again for aftermarket service. So he's got some good sides to him after all, huh? He sure does. He's got way more bad sides, though. That said, this isn't really the time to talk about this, huh? Anyway, please save our child if you can. Of course. Huh? Oh, snap. That girl just used more than 3 weapons at the same time, didn't she? We arrive at the explosion's epicenter to find a small crater. A little bit of the foundation remains of what appears to have been an annex close to the church. I bet a lot of things have happened here. More than I could possibly imagine. Is she not supposed to use more than 3? Well, while the generator might be able to under control, the limiter becomes ineffective using heavy load. I mean, look, she's using the same energy source as the car we all rode in all that one time. After all, it's peaky, but powerful, you know? And you don't even need to charge it. So when the car we were riding on exploded, it must have left a crater like this too, huh? Anya gasped. I follow behind her while carrying Yoru, who's still asleep. I follow Anya's gaze and find what caught her attention. Alec, your legs, your ass! Wow, Anya! Alexei had lost almost his entire lower body. He probably doesn't have long, but he's so excited when he sees us. It seems like he doesn't even care about death. She came here. I met her. She tried to save me, but then she overheated. Alec, don't talk. You'll lose blood. His eyes sparkling. Alexei continues, ignoring even Anya's plea for him to stop. The way she fought was so beautiful. It's a pity you couldn't see it. It would have been worth recording. It's such a shame I can't sell it on a disc. By the time the Inquisitors fired their first shot, she had already swept up 2 of them. It was amazing. Battle heroines are so cool. I can't help but wonder. She was his creation, right? Isn't he going to say anything about how she's suddenly being installed in a vacuum cleaner? I can't speak for him, but I can imagine he's not caring in the slightest if his body's organic or not. The truth of the matter is that his creation came to save him without any regard for herself. In Alexei's eyes, what matters isn't if your body is human-shaped or vacuum cleaner-shaped, but rather what you do with that body. Maybe. After all, Alexei's area of expertise is software, what's inside, rather than hardware, what's outside. That said, what I think is the most Alexei part of this whole situation is how he's praising her efforts, rather than mourning her loss. Have you ladies ever seen a battle robot heroine in action? Of course not, suckers. Wah ha ha. Alex, she was a handful, huh? All the excitement surely must have shortened his remaining time. But for some reason I find it a charming sight to see Anya fussing over Alexei, and holding the upper half of his body as he coughs up blood. I'm scared. Scared? What could possibly scare someone like you, Alec? I'm scared of death. It's hard to make out the words Alexei squeezes out. On closer inspection, his already pale face has gotten even paler. At this point, he's almost like a corpse that forgot he was dead. Don't worry, you'll come back soon. You don't know that. What if I'm the only one who doesn't revive? That's so... Look! You'll be fine. I died myself a while back, but I'm back, see? I'm scared. Please give me some comfort. This is getting kind of awkward. I really don't like the way he said that. Yeah, ew, men. I'm also starting to get tired of carrying Yoru. We finished what we came here to do, so I wish Alec would just hurry up and kick the bucket already. Men want women to be a mother figure for them, especially in times of weakness. If Anya acts like a mother now, this could be our big chance. Well, you're awake? Your back is just so comfortable, Sayoko. Yoru clings tightly to my back as she says that. I decide to leave Alexei alone until he dies, so I watch and pray that Anya can be a proper mother figure, or whatever. You can't just sit on the sidelines, Sayoko. Knowing Anya, she needs your advice. Huh? Oh, Anya, be a good mother? Be open-minded? Huh? Mother? What are you talking about? They say if you act motherly when a man is weak, he'll fall for you. Motherly? I don't know what that means. Pa. Alexei murmurs something, but his voice is too weak. Anya asks him to repeat himself, and he speaks up a little more clearly. Pa, what's your face? The blonde one? Oh, you mean Pacifica? What about her? You can't pull it off, Anya, but I think Pacifica could give me some comfort. She seems so reliable, like a mother who's usually strict, but will gently tuck you into bed when you catch a cold. So, what? Ah! Without even waiting for him to finish, Anya hurls Alexi's half-body into the crater. Alexi's already lightweight body has been cut in half, so it should be easy to throw him, even for someone small like Anya. I can hear Alexi's body sliding down the slope of the crater. Well, he really fell for you! Into the hole! Can you quit joking around and get off of me? Anya urges us to move on right as I manage to shake off Yoru. Let's go. A crowd's starting to form. When I look around, the crowd's still thin, but ghosts are starting to gather around to see if everyone's okay. Some of them must be church followers too. In any case, I don't want to stay here too long. What's with all the explosions lately? Has there been a single episode without an explosion? Like... When I hear the crowd of ghosts having conversations like these, I cannot but smile wryly. They've got a point. Are we gonna call Pacifica? Do you want to call her? Anya's threatening response lacks her usual blend of friendliness and charm as she glares at Yoda with the sharpness of a knife. The shock causes Yoda to take a step back and mumble, which is quite a precious sight for me to see. Wait, no. I shouldn't just watch. Sorry, Anya. I'll be sure to kill Yodo for you later. She'll just get her desserts. She'll just get her desserts? What? She'll get her just desserts? What? Anyway. I'm so sorry about that. I consider prostrating myself before Anya's facial expression suddenly slackens. Oh, I was just joking. Don't worry about it. I just feel like I've just been in a traffic accident. You two feel the same way, don't you? Yoda says, oh, okay, and starts giggling again. So I slap her ass before you follow after Anya, who's already starting to walk off. Hey, yo. Yo. Maybe we are going steady. Pacifica's not the motherly type. Men like him just like to delude themselves into having the wrong impression of her. He doesn't have a discerning eye, huh? There's a reason why he's not popular. Thus closes the curtain on our mission to get technical help for crossing the snow desert. Whether it ended in success or failure, we can't tell. It's not our call to make, after all. The decision lies with... With God? Question mark? Episode 5. Thank you all for gathering. I'm back. No. Rewind time. Rewind time. Sorry. Man, who misses the YouTube rewinds, huh? Do 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 do. Do do do. Ow, my shoulder. Do 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 do. Look, this is my camera with no color correction. Isn't that crazy? Okay, we're in it. Oh, my leg. My leg! Thank you all for gathering today. Alexi's house looks like a mess. Probably because the automatic cleaning robot's gone. The workshop's even more of a mess than when we first came here. We sit on random boxes and large cans and such as we talk with Alexi. We had gathered at Alexi's house a few days after his bisection. I glanced at Pacifica's face. She hasn't had much to do with this whole mission, so... Why didn't you call me? I would have abandoned work in a heartbeat to come help you. She's been this huffing mad ever since we gathered. It's been making me feel a bit uneasy. You ladies helped me. Now it's my turn to help you. Thank you, Alec. Don't mention it. I'm only doing what's expected of me. I steal another glance at Pacifica's face. To be honest, when Anya contacted us, she already told us that Alec was going to help. So this meeting is kind of like watching a movie after hearing spoilers. That's what it feels like, anyway. So I'm way more interested in seeing how Pacifica feels. I can't help but wonder what her take on the matter is. So do you have a plan? Let's hear it. As Anya urges Alexi, it makes me feel like she truly is the moderator for this meeting. Despite all the dumb things that have happened lately, she still does her best to give both us and Alexi proper care and respect. It's touching. Alright, I do have a plan. Want to hear it? I want to hear it! Yodo answers loudly. She initially seemed to have her doubts about Alexi, but it doesn't look like that way anymore. But it doesn't look that way anymore. She looks like the usual sociable Yodo. I haven't had a complicated conversation with Yodo ever since the night we went to dispose of Clara's dead body. I wonder if that has anything to do with it. As I space out, Alexi clears his throat and starts speaking. I concentrate my scattered focus to one point and listen closely to what Alexi has to say. First of all, from what I heard from Anya, there's a huge oversight in your lady's plan. The part where you're going somewhere without knowing where. That's no good. You're basically limiting your own chances of success. We don't know where we're going, so what do you expect us to do? We don't have a map or GPS, so we figured our only option was to go aimlessly. Pacifica answers with the tone of someone asked to add two-digit numbers. Yes, this is it. The reassuring feeling that Pacifica gives off, just being in her presence makes me feel twice as powerful. Oh, really? Alexi grins, sticks out his index finger, and points up. We look at the ceiling. It's high up and has fancy lights, which makes me think, wow, this really is a nice house. But that's it. I don't get what we're supposed to be looking at. My thinking is that before you look outwards, you should look upwards. Pacifica gasps. I still don't get it. Maybe I'm not concentrating hard enough. Are we going to steal the missile? We'll launch a rocket! It's true that we have no maps nor satellites to rely on in this town. Radio waves are also non-starter. In that case, we'll just have to make maps of our own. We'll launch a rocket and get a bird's eye view. Once we know the surrounding terrain and distances, that's when we can finally stand at the starting line. Wow. I'm easily impressed, but I really do think it's impressive. He's got a point. We may have been a little too haphazard with our approach. Alexi's brain quickly noticed our plan's weak spot. That was in our blind spot and gave a suggestion to rectify it. This might actually work. I'm honestly excited. So that's what you were thinking, huh? Pacifica speaks without any change to her tone at all. Alexei must have been expecting some sort of reaction too, so he just mumbles, yeah, in response. Meanwhile, hearing Pacifica's voice sends my inner monologue into overdrive. Building a rocket would be difficult, wouldn't it? But then again, they did manage to build a robot. Kinda. It's a good plan, I'd say. The air of tension instantly dissipates and I realize that I've forgotten to breathe. Looks like Anya's the same way as I see her shoulders move as she takes a deep breath. There's no way a plan can fail if Alexei's thought it up, and Pacifica's given her approval. At least that's what I think. I'm sure Anya approves of the plan too. But that just leaves one person. Hey, what's with that looks? Hey, what's with that look, Yoko? It's a rocket we're talking about. Rockets are cool. They are. As long as they don't explode, that is. Well, you know what they say. Toast lands butter side down, so you gotta make sure the toast doesn't fall. I just did that this morning. Oh yeah, that was a huge explosion, huh? Hey, stop jinxing it. We're all unanimously in favor of Alexei's plan, but he says we need to regroup at a later date after he works out the finer details. We have no real reason to refuse, so we accept his proposal. He then pretty much kicks us out, but it doesn't feel bad at all. As for why... There's a cafe we'd like to go to, so let's hold our next meeting over there. I've never been to a cafe before. Just come with us and check it out. We need to learn more about each other. Okay, I suppose you're right. It's probably because I get to hear that conversation as we leave the house, since I'm at the back of the line. When I speak up, Alexei quietly offers me a seat, acting as if he knew I wanted to talk. I tell him that I want to keep it short, since Pacific and the others are waiting for me outside. In response, he asks me what's wrong. Are you sure about this? Obviously, I'm referring to how the life Alexei was trying to bring into this world came to an abrupt end. In the end, she couldn't use the body he worked so hard to create. And she even broke the body she did end up using. And now she's gone. I think we failed you, so I didn't expect you to help us. If you do think we failed and are still helping us out of a sense of obligation, then... Why so negative, LOL? Who are you, me? Alexei laughs out loud after saying that. I'd rather not listen to his guffawing for another second, so I press him to continue. Please don't mock me. I just wanted to be helpful in the end. Well, yeah. I definitely had regrets when I definitely had regrets when I had my lower half blown off, for one. I regretted asking you ladies for help. Do you remember what happened back then? How Anya looked after you? A little bit. You were there too, weren't you? Honestly, my memory's kinda hazy. Did I say something strange? No. Not really. Please continue. I woke up at the garbage dump and, yeah, that's not actually that a big deal, huh? Easy peasy. Then I went home. There was evidence that someone used my workshop. I knew right away that it was your roommate. Well, yeah. That's when I did a system check and found a letter from her, hidden somewhere in the server. That's when I knew the experiment was a success. I don't know if I should ask, but what did the letter say? Alexei says, oh, it's nothing really, before continuing to tell me anyway. She said, obviously, don't even think of trying to make another me. That should go without saying. Oh. That's nice. The last thing she told me was that I was dumb. So that sounds like a believable letter. That said, I feel like she's got a surprising amount of love for Alexei. I'm glad that's the impression I got from what little time I spent with her. Nice. Alexei looks at me with his eyes popped wide open. Sorry, As I stumble with my words, his face starts to warp in ecstasy. I want to get out of here. I guess he really is a dreadful person after all. Moe! Huh? That was incredible Moe, you know? I'm glad you came. That's a word from your home country, right? She started with obviously and ended with that should go without saying. Really re-emphasizing her point, you know? That's a cliche among advanced AI heroines, but that's what makes them so classic, you know? You really do need counseling soon. This is what Moe means, right? It's gotta be. I won. In your face, suckers. Who did you win against exactly? Every otaku's ever treated romance with artificial intelligence. Congratulations. This is what the world was meant for. Was it really romance, though? Maybe it was familial love or something. But then, again, can I just imagine Yoro saying, what men perceive as romance isn't necessarily romance, while giving me a thumbs up? I see. Makes sense. Are you going to remake her once things have calmed down? What kind of jerk would see something like that and have the gall to think they can make a sequel? I let out a small sigh of relief. Alexi's motivations may be beyond my grasp, but at least he's not completely unreasonable. What I gained and lost here was both life and death. I was able to create both. I may have been excommunicated by the church, but it looks like I've been spared by God. For now. Despite his triumphant words, Alexi's face quickly darkens. I thought he had long since stopped caring about reproducing God's work. To create life is to have ambitions for the future. To create death is to obtain a certain sort of response, or repose. To create death is to obtain a certain sort of repose. As I created her, I thought that I could help out Ghost in that regard. I was conceited. Yes, he did indeed mention that when he was creating her. But now that I've lost her, I realize that death is sad. I can't ever see her again. I can't ever reclaim her. I can't even thank her for all she's done. It makes me want a hero. But I'm not in enough pain to actually die. We're not designed poorly enough that we die just because of that, lol. But then again, we don't die for any reason, tbh. I think about her before I sleep, even though I know I can't sleep when I think about her. When I finally do go to sleep, I dream of her. And each time I wake up, I feel despair. Somehow, I just know that this will continue forever. Alexi's truly grieving. It's disorienting how much it feels like someone actually died. I feel like I've lost someone close to me once in this far distant past, too. No idea who or when that was. But I just get the feeling. I can't figure it out. But Alexei turns around and sits at his desk. But he doesn't touch his keyboard or mouse. His chair creaks and then he cries. Despite getting beaten to death literally and emotionally, I'm glad I got to meet her. I feel like something like this has happened before. Oh. I'm just guessing here. As a woman just like her, but I'm pretty sure I did something similar back then too. Just as she was special to you, I feel like you were special to her. I'm sure she was glad she got to meet you. Or maybe I wanted to, but I couldn't. Honestly, I wanted to talk with her again too. When she felt like it, that is. I don't think there's any need for me to say that though, so I just leave it as a mental note. I should get going already. I head back to my friends with the sound of Alexi's sobs at my back. Once I got to the entrance. Sayoko, you really are such a good girl. Huh? Pacifica embraces me with tears welling in her eyes. What you said was so touching, Sayoko. So tear-jerking. What's your secret to delivering such iconic lines? Do you take notes or something? Anya gives me a round of applause. Alex said it was romance, but what men perceive as romance isn't necessarily romance, you know? You already said that. Huh? The conversation's getting out of hand, so I slip out of Pacifica's arms, kick out the front door, and rush outside. Okay, let's go home already. Everyone turns around and starts running their mouths as they run after me. I'm not comfortable leading the group, so I let Pacifica take the lead. I stop in my tracks, close my eyes, and take a deep breath. The pitch-black world spreading out behind my eyelids reminds me of the specter of death looming around Alexi's house. I feel that what Alexi experienced was only one side of death. In death, there are those who are dearly departed, and those who the departed held dear. Alexi is the latter. In fact, as long as he is a ghost, he can never truly become the former. The same goes for me. I think about the other side of death, the side I can never reach. But what if I could? I could have been shot to death when I went to go save Yoru, blown to bits in the car explosion when we tried to leave town, or impaled through the head by Wrench's spider. Any one of those things would have been the end of me. I wouldn't have been able to save anyone, but I wouldn't have to suffer anymore. Nothing could threaten me anymore. I can feel the darkness behind my eyelids sink into my heart. I've been caught in the allure of death and cannot escape its grasp. Death is all too peaceful. As someone who cannot die, the allure of death is spine-chilling. Could it be that I want? Sayoko! A bundle of worms slams into me, almost causing me to tumble over. Whoa, I stumble back a few steps. I open my eyes to find Yoru. What's wrong, Sayoko? Let's go home! Saying that, she holds my hand. It's not warm at all. Her hand is as cold as mine. It's cold outside, after all. A few meters behind Yoru stands Pacifica and Anya, my precious, precious friends, smiling at me. I smile back. I'm a little sleepy and hungry. We laugh. Yoru pulls me by the hand as we leap into the laughter. Death is an attractive concept to me. The peacefulness of death grabs my attention and won't let go. But I don't think I'm in any rush to die. I mean, just look at everything I have to cherish. That's just naturally how I feel. That's how I feel despite everything that I am. I really do feel that way. I'm happy that I can feel that way. I wish that I could feel this way forever. I wish. That's now my dream. In my dreams, I can get out. In my dreams, I can fit in. Wait, I'm scared. Ghostpia! God damn. They just put question marks for the VA. That's so funny. I don't know. Give me a post-credit sequence right now. Right now. I'm waiting. Yes! Okay. It's been a long journey. But who would have thought I'd get this far? The train started in a land far, far away, heading even further. But all journeys must come to an end. I sit by myself at a small seat and clench my fist. I'll see you soon. They actually have 5 fingers. Notice that. Inside the train, the clattering of the railroad ties gets suddenly drowned out by an announcement. The announcement: the train will soon arrive at the next station, the terminal. I make sure that I got my single travel bag as I look out the window. The setting sun seems to weigh down on the horizon as I spot a long, sprawling fence that almost looks like a solid wall. I've heard many times before that this town was surrounded by a fence, so I already knew about it. She's on the other side of that fence. Just thinking about it makes my heart feel like it's on fire. I've had to sacrifice so many things in order to come here. But that just makes the journey all the more valuable. Pause. Isn't that the trunk that Yoru has? Game theory. It feels like the whole world has existed solely to lead up to this day. I think those thoughts as I watch the town's perimeter fence slowly approach. It's dark by the time I get out of the station. A cold breeze blows, and I suddenly want to go home. This is a ghost town. It's certainly lonely enough to have earned that name. Despite my reluctance, I quickly remember why I came here. To fulfill her wish. It's a promise I have to keep. I whisper to myself. I've come to see you. To see who? Thank you for reading. Thank you for reading through the end. Please look forward to the story's continuation. Okay, well... the story continues. What happens if I click on that? No, can't. Okay, it's just that sequence. Well, there we have it. That was Ghostpia Season 1. I think it's kind of clever that they chose to do, like, episodes instead of chapters. Because I was thinking to myself when we were wrapping up episode 5 today, I was like, this is kind of like a TV show, like a non-linear TV show. Like, where just something happens every episode. Like, it felt like a kid show in that aspect. Where you just, like, turn it on. And no matter if you watch yesterday's episode or tomorrow's, it's like its own separate plot line. So, now that I have that, like, framework in my head, I'm like, oh, it's fine. Because my main critique of this game was like, oh, it's, like, non-linear. Like, I really hate that it's non-linear. Like, it just seems like random stuff happens. But no, it's like a kid's TV show where they can just turn it on and they'll have fun. I like the style. Very, like, 2015 Tumblr. But, you know, I love that aesthetic. That's when I was using Tumblr. This game was a lot, like, more goofy than I thought it would be. Like, it was very slapsticky. I think it was funny how there would be sequences where you would say poop and then actually say shit. Like, it's so goofy. It was very violent. Not, like, an obscene or extremely grotesque, but it was very violent. You can have your own interpretations on, like, the different archetypes and the characters, but I think it's really sweet how the main character, Sayoko, did open up a bit more near the end. How they gradually became more talkative just in general as time went on. We don't really know what, like, timeline the whole game is. My assumption is maybe a couple months. But I think it's really sweet how... it was especially drove home in the 4th and 5th episode to where you don't necessarily need to know how to be loved, but you just have to be receptive to it. And I think that's a really sweet, like, overall message. And, like, this game has themes of, like, depression, anxiety, potentially schizophrenia, and then PTSD as well. So it was very on the nose and very not on the nose with those themes. But I don't think any of the underlying messages were, like, toxic. I think the only thing is, we didn't really get any, like, resolution with the flashback characters. I think especially after the end of chapter 4 sequence where, like, the friend nearly kills her, right, when she throws her onto the tracks. I am wondering who Sayoko and Yuto are. Because I think it's fairly obvious that the two flashback characters are Sayoko and Yuto. I don't know who is who yet. Because the hair is different. It would be very clear if their hair was the same, but it's not. By the way, that was season 1. I liked it. Will I play season 2? Probably. I don't know if the payoff will be worth it, but I probably will play it. This came out in 2023. It's currently 2026 in June. Maybe. But I think I will play it. So, how would I rate this game? Surprisingly, no bugs. Usually in Switch ports, they're super buggy, but no bugs. I really like the UI, how I could easily rewind. That was really good. I think it was, like, the actual interface was fairly clear and understand. It was fairly clear and easy to understand. I would have to say 7 out of 10. Like, this is very much just a super linear visual novel. I wasn't like ready to play the next chapter. I think because it wasn't linear. Like, if there was, like, a true cliffhanger every episode, I'd be like, oh, I can't wait to play it. But it was, since every episode is a separate plot, it's just like, oh, okay, let's see what happens with the crew now. But 7 out of 10. Very cute visual style. I think it's really cool how, as the episodes went on, the renderings got a bit better. There was a bit more animations. I don't know if all the episodes were released at once or gradually. If someone could tell me in the comments, that'd be great. But I think it's really cool to see how the style was elevated as time went on in the episodes. There we have it, 7 out of 10. That was my playthrough of Ghostpia Season 1. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. You can also watch these videos early on Twitch, twitch.tv/peacent_17. Go follow right now. But I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Bang! I liked it. I liked it. Do look at my forehead. Okay, let's see. It's noon. Ew. I'm gonna go. I have a handful of work to do today, so. If you guys want something else to watch, check out the YouTube channels. I have a clip, VOD, and highlight. Go subscribe to them all. And if you want the Lena Block prints that are in the background, subscribe to the art club. You only have 2 days left to subscribe, including today, to get the June's theme of snakes. And like I said, I'm going to click go live again tomorrow morning on the art channel to stamp them. And then I'll click live on this channel probably in the evening, depending on how I feel. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye. Peace out. Goodbye. W game. A very goofy, odd game. Oh, I also thought it was... I really don't like in these games where they have, like, nudity. I'm like, it's weird. Like, the bath sequence, that was really sweet. I think it was very important. Because they were using the analogy of, like, bearing yourself, like, metaphorically, being vulnerable with someone to literally getting naked. That was a bit... I mean, I get... It makes sense, but it's like, oh my goodness. I don't like when it's like characters that look young when they do that, but I hope they're young. I mean, I hope they're old. Sorry, that fuck. You know what I meant. It was always you. Can't believe I could. Wait. Could not say it all this time. Wait, that's a Maroon 5 song and a Panic song. Oh.